Chapter 1604. He had arrived with a huge cauldron above his head. It emitted the light of the ages, and the interior was like a concentrated sea of stars. It emitted an aura that made even the golden age tremble. Everything exploded. His majestic appearance and emperor's aura spread out. At this moment, all matter dimmed. In this world of invincibility, there was nothing more like an emperor than him. His majestic aura could sweep across the 9 heavens and 10 earths. He could destroy the destroyer from the lower realm with a single punch. It's him. Su Yin was shocked. He had followed the ancient path he left behind and entered the depths of the 4 sacred sword realm. He had also seen the mysterious empress from the uncanny crafts sect. Who was he? Was he the most powerful emperor of the celestial court? If Su Yan's guess was correct, he should be the creator of the Emperor Road. Was he still alive? Now he had appeared. This was not a prehistoric scene. It was happening in this world. He had arrived. His emperor's aura spread out. He was majestic and majestic. He covered the space and time between heaven and earth as he looked down on the gray universe. So powerful. Su Yin was shocked. It was difficult to describe the emperor's aura. His pores exuded a small amount of qi and blood radiance, which shook the heavens and the earth. Large cracks appeared one after another in the dusky universe, as if they had penetrated through thousands of eras. The rolling qi and blood radiance rushed up and crashed into the black fog in the sky. How domineering was this? The emperor's aura was vast and mighty. The great Tao of heaven and earth retreated. Only his Tao and law dominated the world. It was enough to suppress the past, present, and future. The emperor's aura in his body alone destroyed everything. The black fog exploded completely. Horrifying blood flowed from within and poured into the 9 heavens. The whole world was stained with blood. The scene was too tragic. The black fog exploded and collapsed along with the entire passage. A casual attack could destroy heaven and earth. It was unimaginably powerful. Su Yin saw a huge figure appear in the exploding black fog. Its body shape was very strange. It was an extremely terrifying creature. Roar! The black creature with pitch-black fur and an enormous body that surged with vicious energy was like a fiend emperor as it moved through the air. Its back that was like a dark abyss had a pair of giant golden wings. These were 2 immortal swords that hacked open the dusky passage. It slaughtered its way over. It was exceptionally shocking, the Tiger King of a generation, its might unimaginable. Reincarnation light gushed out from its mouth and nose, slaughtering its way towards the group of creatures in the darkness. The ancient celestial emperors were striding forward. His expression was cold, and his black hair danced in the wind. With every step he took, heaven and earth trembled. A majestic aura of extreme Tao surged out, rewriting the great Tao of heaven and earth. At this moment, he was the Tao. Boom! The gray tunnel was completely destroyed. Nothing could stop his monarch aura as he advanced step by step, destroying everything and evaporating everything. Nothing could escape from his aura. The majestic appearance of an emperor, the great cauldron rising and falling above his head, pouring down boundless light of all ages. When it began to revolve, it simply produced a sea of stars in the heavens, grand to an unimaginable degree, creating an eternally indestructible great universe, terrifying to the extreme. Bam, bam, bam. In the dark zone that was riddled with holes, the supreme creatures exploded one after another. It was unknown what realm these destroyers were at, but they were nursing grievances, unable to stop the ancient celestial emperor's footsteps. The entire world began to crawl and tremble under his footsteps. Invincible. Vaguely, Su Yin heard low growls coming from the creatures in the darkness. They seemed to be afraid. Su Yan's expression was solemn. Was he going to figure out the origin of this place? In short, this tunnel had once killed a 9-transformation true dragon. Su Yin did not have any good feelings towards it. He hoped that the ancient celestial emperors would destroy everything. What exactly is this tunnel? It doesn't seem to belong to this world. Su Yin muttered. As the wielder of the heaven-opening writing brush, he constantly paid attention to it, wanting to understand some of the truth. In short, Su Yan's hair stood on end when he heard that this tunnel had killed the supreme experts of this world. He felt that there were some major issues involved. The mysterious tunnel seemed to be located in the long river of history. He did not know what existed at the end of the tunnel. In short, a terrifying creature had penetrated the tunnel and was about to descend to the Emperor Road in the lower realm. Su Yin subconsciously felt that this tunnel must be related to the Realm Sea and the Dark Calamity. Perhaps they were the initiators of the Dark Calamity. Su Yin was solemn. Could this battle be a battle between two space-time dimensions? At the same time, Su Yin rapidly read the Sun Mother Sutra. He had to master this sutra as soon as possible because this eternal sun was the most suitable place to cultivate the Sun Mother Sutra. There was supreme Yangqi here, which was extremely suitable for cultivating the Sun Mother Sutra. Although it could be cultivated in the outside world, it would take a long time. Su Yin had changed the sutra, so he would have to rebuild his primordial spirit. If it was in the outside world, he would need a lot of time and energy to replenish it. However, this was a place tailor-made for cultivating the Sun Mother Sutra. The golden book flipped page after page. When it flipped, a supreme figure would be projected, reading the Sun Mother Sutra. Su Yin sat in the giant palace. The sound of sutra chanting surged like a sea. Grand suns appeared one after another, full of undying and inextinguishable fluctuations. This was an immortal sutra. It was as if a great emperor who overlooked the heavens was chanting sutras. Ancient characters engraved themselves into Su Yan's primordial spirit. He felt as if his primordial spirit was going to melt on its own, turn into the purest soul energy, about to be reconstructed. Su Yin couldn't help but be alarmed. This was the most powerful Sun Mother Sutra. Once it was read, one's primordial spirit would tremble along with the Sun Mother Sutra. It had to be said that the effects of cultivating it were too great. Su Yin didn't resist, nor did he reject it. His primordial spirit blazed brilliantly. He sat in the giant palace, his appearance solemn and dignified. His primordial spirit continuously shone like a fiery red sun. Without a doubt, this ancient Sun Mother Sutra was inscribed by a supreme expert. It contained the supreme profundities of the Sun Mother Sutra. Therefore, it was easy for people to understand and comprehend. The main reason was that Su Yan's primordial spirit was powerful. His soul energy was full and majestic. Therefore, it wasn't difficult for him to cultivate it. In fact, when he cultivated at a deeper level, Su Yin discovered that the Tao contained in the giant palace resonated with Su Yan's primordial spirit. This made Su Yin pleasantly surprised. Cultivating here was twice the result with half the effort. He could grasp it in a short time. Boom! The dusky passageway had been completely destroyed by the attacks. But in the end, the strength of the ancient celestial emperors provoked something. At the end of the dusky passage that was about to explode, lightning flashed and thunder roared. Black lightning appeared one after another. Each of them was filled with the law of destruction. This was the strongest apocalyptic heavenly punishment. Woo-woo! A cold wind howled and a rain of blood poured down, engulfing the entire world. A strange change occurred. At the end of the passage, all kinds of outrageous phenomena were born. They were accompanied by thick black lightning that appeared one after another. The big black tiger's expression was solemn. This scene was like the end of the world. All kinds of scenes appeared. This was a calamity that happened in prehistoric times. Many terrifying giants had fallen under the black passage. There were even experts at the same level as them who exploded into bloody light. Not even their bones remained. This passage represented a great calamity, a great calamity, a great disaster. Once it appeared, there would be mountains of corpses and seas of blood. It was too horrible to look at. No one could resist it. No one could survive. It was too bitter. All living things were terrified. The world was in despair. This was a kind of sorrow. No one could stop it. They were mercilessly judged. It was as if the heavens were judging their life and death. Their lives were in their hands. It was difficult to resist. Finally, the end of the passage blazed. The bloody light was like a sea. It was filled with great fear. It was like the source of destruction. It sprinkled down order and law. It was cold and merciless. It was as if a giant book had been opened. It controlled life and death. Burial earth. No emperor. The cruel voice resounded. It was announcing the cruel law that restricted this world. The cruel and cold words completely infuriated the big black tiger. It released a sky-shaking roar. If this king was in that era, I would have killed you all until you all knelt in submission. Su Yin separated a bit of primordial spirit. He was in deep thought. He felt that the calamity that appeared before the passage might be a prehistoric world that collapsed under the great calamity. Gradually, the current undying heavenly domain was formed. He felt that the possibility was very high. It should be like this. The fierce roar shattered the boundless black lightning. The roar rumbled, as if it was going to penetrate into another world. How long? This passage's evolution was ultimately too shocking. Destructive order and law interweaved, forming a boundless array. It even formed a giant eye. It was like the eye of the heavens. Inside, millions and millions of stars withered. The universe was destroyed. A sea of blood flowed. Gradually, a giant face appeared. It was like a human face. It was huge and sinister, blurry and mysterious. It overlooked everything, looking down at the three figures in the passage. And, all of a sudden, a pair of eyes that were spewing out destructive light fell upon a weak living being. In its eyes, Su Yin was as weak as an ant. However, it attracted Su Yan's attention. That was because the cultivation of the Sun Mother Sutra was at a critical juncture. It caused the potential of the white mist to go berserk. Even the Sun Mother Sutra revolved, wanting to merge with him, the aura of the ancestral substance. The black ferocious beast's body shook. It widened its bell-like eyes and charged towards Su Yin. This also shocked Su Yin, but soon he calmed down. What was there to be afraid of? He cultivated the Celestial Court's initial sutra, the Celestial Emperor's orthodoxy. To Su Yin, they were all on the same side. There was no need to worry at all. Roar! Just as the big black tiger was about to charge towards Su Yin, it let out an angry roar. It opened its mouth and spat out a large amount of reincarnation light. It collided with the light sputtering from the eyeball in the passage. Without a doubt, Su Yin had shocked the existence at the other end of the passageway. He wanted to capture Su Yin and see through him. He wanted to see through Su Yan's background and origins because he felt that Su Yin was too extraordinary. In fact, the big black tiger didn't even need to make a move. The ancient celestial emperors had already moved. His aura was countless times more imposing. It suppressed the light from the eyeball and isolated Su Yin from its influence. There was even a trace of murderous aura leaking out. The primordial spirit of the strongest who was sleeping in the eternal sun was solemn. Once his murderous aura was released, the entire space-time exploded. The gray universe had already begun to repeat itself. No, all the living beings that were still alive here were annihilated one after another. They didn't even have the right to struggle. They only felt that the golden age was withering. The murderous aura released by such an existence was enough to destroy an era of the universe and destroy everything. Even the huge and cold face was distorted and trembling. Billions of rules and order collapsed and disintegrated. Chapter 1605. The murderous intent emitted by the ancient great emperors was a ghastly sight. Boom! The order and laws all over the sky collapsed. Even the heavens were weeping blood and trembling. The scene was too horrifying. It was simply going to turn the past, present, and future upside down. The entire tunnel was exploding. Everything was about to cease to exist. Everything was about to be destroyed. Even the huge blurry face was about to explode. Burial ground, no emperor. However, the huge face laughed angrily. It did not feel fear. No matter how strong the existence born here was, it could not escape the judgment of fate. Once this place was destroyed, and all living things were in despair. Now, it was no exception. No expert in this world could stop them. Boom! The Emperor's aura filled the air. These words angered the ancient celestial emperors. His emperor's aura became more and more shocking. It was like a carrier of the Tao that pierced through the 9 heavens and earth, emitting a rumbling sound. A cold light bloomed in his deep pupils. This was murderous intent. It also contained an indescribable aura. In an instant, the entire world froze and fell into a state of stillness. All matter dimmed. In the heavens and on the earth, only his emperor's aura was unparalleled. An inexplicable aura bloomed in his pupils and rushed toward the huge, blurry face. At this moment, his huge face was trembling. The order and laws covering it collapsed. This was an invincible aura that crossed the long river of time. It was enough to pierce through the 9 heavens and 10 earths and suppress the space-time of one universe after another. The invincible power crossed the long river of time. It was difficult to imagine how terrifying it was. It crushed his face until it began to distort and crack. Kill! He let out a loud roar that shook the heavens and earth. The face that was about to explode burned fiercely. Dark, holy light overflowed into the sky. At the same time, a black cauldron flew out from the world behind him. It flowed with an aura that could split the heavens and earth. This was a super heavy artifact. It fell just like that and smashed toward the ancient celestial emperors. Boom! The cauldron floating above the ancient celestial emperor's head slowly rotated and sprinkled down the light of eternity. The scene was too unimaginable. It was as if one universe after another was smelted into the cauldron. The mighty fluctuations caused the heavens and earth to resonate. It was also at this moment that the vast and boundless Emperor's Road seemed to tremble slightly. It was as if it was responding to something. The atmosphere in Emperor Road instantly became extremely tense. Billions of beings were terrified. They had no idea what was going on. Some felt that the Emperor Road was about to explode. An indescribable aura was awakening. What was going on? The Emperor Road seemed to have been affected by some kind of energy substance. It was too terrifying. At this moment, a mysterious woman with fluttering sleeves suddenly stepped out of her cave abode. Her expression was one of shock as she stared at the heaven and earth in the Emperor's Road. An ancient aura emanated from her, as if it was about to burst out and attack all her enemies. "Master, what's wrong?" A peerless beauty walked out of snowy country. If Su Yin was here, he would pale in comparison. She was In Isi, and her whereabouts in the undying heavenly region were unknown. Isi Yun had never seen her mysterious master reveal such an expression before. She was so excited that tears seemed to fall from her eyes. It was not just the Emperor's Road. Many realms and regions were surging with an inexplicable aura. Even the rivers and mountains were about to explode. It was very shocking. This mysterious sign made the giants tremble. They felt an ancient aura that was about to suppress the entire Golden Age era. This was a terrifying influence. It was difficult to tell what it was. What a terrifying existence. Even if there was a trace of aura left behind, it would start to awaken because of his appearance or something related to him. Some of the primogenital level experts commented, in a dark world of nothingness that no one could set foot in, a loud roar exploded. The vast, dark space-time collapsed as a huge energy explosion occurred. A tall man with messy hair caught the fluctuation of the mysterious aura. He instantly regained his senses. His chest rose and fell violently. His eyes looked through the nothingness as if he had seen the Emperor Road. The prehistoric Big Brother was greatly moved. His face was also filled with joy. In fact, the Xianhuang universe was the most affected. It began to resonate with the Xianhuang universe that was exuding an exuberant, immortal substance. It vaguely outlined a terrifying figure that floated in the river of time and looked down at the sky. Incredible! On the platform, the mysterious skeleton woke up. A hand bone flew out. Bam! The hand bone shook violently and opened a space-time tunnel. He woke Fairy Zixiao up and fell into a deep sleep after leaving a sentence. A catastrophe is coming. Is this the reincarnation of fate? But we should defy the heavens and control our own destiny. Disciple, you can go down the mountain and find your own path. The big cauldron glowed and collided with a black cauldron. A universe black hole that was filled with endless destructive power burst out. Su Yin felt that even if a grand heavenly expert fell into it, he would be blown into ashes. Nothing would be left behind. How strong was this power? It was unimaginable. Come out and kill him. The blurry and huge human face went crazy. The world behind it slashed out a series of killing weapons. These were all earth-shattering treasures. There was a red dragon whip, a dark heavenly spear, a bronze halberd. Each of the killing weapons had source chi flowing in them. The murderous aura was like the sea, suppressing the heavens and the ages. Everything in the way collapsed. These were all forged from the universe's source essence. They were priceless. Just like that, they attacked together to destroy the ancient celestial emperors. Su Yan's eyes were red. This was too rich. The treasures forged from the source essence gave birth to the source chi of heaven and earth. Each weapon was a super killing weapon, enough to trigger a bloody war between the immortal orthodoxies. Now, one after another, they were shot down from the world behind him, targeting the ancient celestial emperors. Kill! The huge face roared. Its eyes flashed with cold, murderous intent. These treasures had once come to the lower realm and killed the experts of this realm. Each treasure was bathed in the blood of super experts. Its ferocious power shocked the world. Young man, are you jealous? The big black tiger had arrived and approached Su Yan. Its fur was sparkling and translucent, shining like satin. The black creature's body was enormous, and it could swallow all the stars in the heavens just by opening its mouth. Although it tried its best to suppress its aura, there were still world-shaking fluctuations. Su Yan didn't know why, but he felt that this black beast was a little treacherous. It wasn't anything good. It was similar to the Bao Kai. Seeing Su Yan's vigilant manner, the big black tiger squeezed out a smile on its face. It looked a little friendlier as it grinned and said, "Give me some of the substance in your primordial spirit. I will give you a great creation that is not inferior to the essence of the mother." Su Yan's heart skipped a beat. He hurriedly said, "Senior, this matter is already fused with me. I can't give it to you." "Fused with you?" The big black tiger was suspicious. It stared at the primordial spirit that cultivated the Sun Mother Sutra. Su Yan's primordial spirit was burning more and more. It was like a celestial sun in the sky, chanting sutras. Moreover, during Su Yan's cultivation process, he had devoured a lot of powerful yang qi from the eternal heavenly sun to nourish his current primordial spirit. This was a great tonic that sped up Su Yan's recultivation. Of course, with Su Yan's current primordial spirit, he could only steal a little of the yang qi essence at a time. Even so, Su Yan's primordial spirit had changed a lot. He destroyed the sutra of the future and reconstructed his primordial spirit. It was equivalent to recultivating the primordial spirit realm. In the process, the white mist surged and emitted an even stronger potential. It was fusing with Su Yan's primordial spirit. At this moment, Su Yan's primordial spirit was like a celestial furnace of heaven and earth. It was chanting the most powerful Mother Sutra. It was solemn and mighty. It was becoming more and more shocking. Could it be? The big black tiger was shocked. It couldn't see through Su Yan's primordial spirit. Could it be that he wasn't fusing with the ancestral substance? It's not the ancestral substance, but a special substance that's stronger than the ancestral substance. This shocked it. This creation was a little scary. How did this kid get it? Instantly, its beast eyes lit up. It was like the eyes of reincarnation were rotating, projecting a radiance that shone on Su Yan's primordial spirit. It wanted to see clearly. It felt that perhaps this special junior would be the hope of this world in the future. However, the scene it saw was rather blurry. It was extremely grand and endless, as if the boundless universe lay in front of its eyes. There are times when I've misjudged. The big black tiger was surprised. It wanted to reflect again, but Su Yan's cultivation of the Sun Mother Scripture had reached a critical juncture. Su Yan's primordial spirit stretched its limbs, and as it breathed, surging yang qi entered his body, tempering Su Yan's primordial spirit until it was like a huge sun hanging in the sky. Without a doubt, he had cultivated the first stage of the Sun Mother Sutra. His primordial spirit was protected by the Mother Sutra. In addition, the white mist and Su Yan's primordial spirit had completely fused together. As a result, Su Yan's primordial spirit was too special and mysterious. "Senior, what are you looking at?" Su Yan was scared. The main body of his primordial spirit was in deep seclusion, and he was worried about being disturbed. The big black tiger's expression was a little awkward. It couldn't see through anything twice in a row. Its old face was a little embarrassed. "I'm giving you pointers on your cultivation." Its skin was very thick, and it returned to normal. Its eyes widened again, and this time it was very obvious. This time it was very serious. Reincarnation turns millions of years of time. A low, oppressive roar sounded as if it had exploded in the ancient era. Radiance shone on Su Yan's primordial spirit, as if following his primordial spirit, tracing back to Su Yan's past, tracing back to his birthplace. All of a sudden, the light of time sprinkled down like a rain of time. Great spatial cracks appeared one after another, as if they extended into prehistoric times and ran through numerous ancient histories. The scene was outrageous and terrifying. It was unknown just what level of expert this big black tiger was. The big black tiger was shocked. It saw a blurry figure buried in the ancient land, slumbering one life after another, experiencing the nourishment of the essence of the sun and moon. The strange layout left it astonished. Immediately after, it saw a blood-colored coffin lying horizontally in the ancient land. It seemed to bury the entire sky, just like the legendary heaven-burying coffin. It was shocked. It also suffered a terrifying impact. The reincarnation tunnel that traced back to Su Yan had collapsed. The huge black tiger's body trembled. It actually had such a deep connection with that coffin. Could it be that he had obtained the substance in the coffin? But even if the substance in the coffin could be taken out, who could bear it? Just as it was pondering over the connection between all these, the great battle in the tunnel had almost come to an end. The ancient celestial emperors seemed to have been silent for too long, recovering step by step. Finally, at this moment, his eyes suddenly shot out two cold bolts of lightning. "Youngster, wait for me here. Wait until this king suppresses the enemy. Then I'll come back to take care of you." The big black tiger didn't dare to delay any longer. It was very serious as it charged into the tunnel. The entire tunnel completely collapsed. The ancient celestial emperors struck out with his strongest battle strength. The sky full of black mist exploded. The supreme aura destroyed everything. Nothing could stop him. Boom! The ancient celestial emperors finally used his true strength. He brandished his emperor's fist, shaking the past, present, and future. The aura was boundlessly terrifying. The heaven and earth exploded. Weapons trembled chaotically. It was like the end of the world. The entire heavens trembled from the impact. The weapons that flowed with Mother Chi shuddered. The essence of the Mother Chi was greatly damaged and dispersed completely. Boom! The black cauldron was the first to collapse. However, this weapon was ultimately too powerful. Even if it collapsed, there was still a terrifying remnant dark aura. There were signs of reconstruction. However, the ancient celestial emperor's might was world-shaking. The destroyed weapons couldn't be healed. They were completely annihilated under the influence of his aura. The bronze halberd, the crimson dragon whip, and the 5 great treasures were all destroyed. They exploded into large pieces. The supreme killing weapons forged from source chi were directly blasted through by his emperor's fist. It was difficult to imagine how strong his battle strength was. Invincible emperor physique. Can you compare to the ancestor god? The blurry and huge face was horrified. It didn't expect the ancient celestial emperor's battle strength to be so tyrannical. He destroyed the supreme treasures that filled the sky. Even the emperor's fist was blazing and overflowing. It pierced through the 33 layers of heaven and surged up again, engulfing the myriad realms. Its huge face distorted. It was also bombarded by the hair and exploded. Impossible. This fist was too invincible and illusory. It followed the projection of its Dharma idol and locked onto the world behind it. It was alarmed. Could it be that this person wanted to kill his way into the world behind it? Could it be that he had been stalling for time and wanted to break into the world behind it? All along, they had been the rulers who wielded the laws and order. But now, the ancient celestial emperors had defied the heavens and opened up a passage to the world behind it. He wanted to kill his way in. Even before it had charged in, the world behind it was in chaos. Regardless of whether it was a grain of sand, a drop of water, or a blade of grass. Once, these substances that were contaminated with his aura began to rustle and tremble. In the end, they began to burn. Boom! A terrifying Tao cry exploded. It was as if a Kuan Peng had swept through 3,000 realms and a true dragon had struck the 33 layers of heaven. The world behind it was in chaos. It seemed that the world behind it was about to be destroyed. The blurry face exploded. Its heart was filled with unwillingness. That was because the ancient celestial emperors had once killed his way here. This area had left behind his aura. Even after a long time, it still began to revive and welcome his arrival. Don't tell me he was somewhat terrified. He thought of many things. He had once killed his way into the world behind them. He wanted to figure out some things, but he couldn't live. He exploded in the great crack between the two worlds. The moment his consciousness dissipated, his eyes focused on Su Yan. There was a big problem with this person. He should have caught him just now and taken a good look. Chapter 1606. The tunnel collapsed and pierced through. A supreme aura filled the air. The entire space-time was filled with large cracks. Nothing could be seen clearly. It was as though the heavens had collapsed and everything had been destroyed. The eternal celestial sun was swaying. Although the battle didn't belong to this space-time, it was still ridiculous. Energy leaked out and swept through the entire eternal celestial Sunday. An aura that could destroy the heavens and the earth filled the air, causing Su Yan's heart to tremble. All the palaces in the area where he was located were glowing. The aura contained within them had been awakened. Although they had blocked the energy ripples in front of them, some of the palaces had still collapsed. Su Yan's hiding place was one of the strongest palaces. It resisted the energy ripples. He was shocked and felt that it was inconceivable. Today's experience was too bizarre. He saw the mysterious passage pierce through and saw the ancient celestial emperors kill their way over. He felt like he was dreaming. Everything was like a dream. The world in front of him had evaporated into a large black hole. He couldn't see anything clearly and didn't know what was happening inside. Is this my future enemy? Su Yan sighed. He was still weak. Compared to the strongest experts in the world, he wasn't even worth mentioning. In next to no time, Su Yan calmed down. The weak him was clearly aware that completing the reconstruction of his primordial spirit at the fastest speed possible was the most important task at this moment. Similarly, the big black tiger had asked him to wait for him here. He would stay here and cultivate during this period. Buzz! Su Yan's primordial spirit glowed as he sat cross-legged in the void. In front of him, the Sun Mother Sutra was flipped open. Page after page, it recited the profundities of the Mother Sutra and explained the supreme profundities of the primordial spirit transformation. The primordial spirit was a person's soul. It was also equivalent to a person's life lamp. The Sun Mother Sutra was one of the strongest Mother Sutras in the world. It controlled the primordial spirit. The deeper Su Yan read, the more astonished he was. The ultimate goal of this sutra seemed to be to refine the primordial spirit into a body of flesh and blood. Was this an avatar? In short, the Sun Mother Sutra was extremely profound and special. Su Yan's primordial spirit glowed continuously as it spewed out yang essence from the outside world. It penetrated his primordial spirit and continued to strengthen the realm of Su Yan's primordial spirit. His primordial spirit continued to grow, emitting a sacred radiance. The chanting of his primordial spirit also became louder and more deafening. The entire palace seemed very unusual. As Su Yan's chanting resonated, The essence of the great path that had existed for a long time in the palace spread out and gathered toward Su Yin, making him seem like a saint emperor of the sun. His radiance burned brightly. His primordial spirit was growing madly despite being weak. It was getting stronger all the time. Su Yan's body seems to have undergone some special changes. Above the sea, the ancient ships continued to cross the sea, drifting aimlessly. Ever since they stole the ancient Kuan Pung corpse, they had been constantly on guard against the experts of various races. Although they weren't afraid of the Demon Extermination Alliance, Su Yin suddenly went into seclusion. His primordial spirit left his body and roamed the great void. This was a bit sudden. During this period of time, they had been extremely cautious, avoiding quite a few experts who were chasing them. They didn't want to engage in any conflict with these people. There are some changes. Fan Jian was surprised. Where did Su Yan's primordial spirit go? His body was withered as he sat cross-legged on the ancient ship. There were no energy waves coming from him. This was a very dangerous situation. He couldn't be disturbed by anyone. At this moment, Su Yan's body was filled with yang qi. It seemed that there was some special reason that stimulated Su Yan's body to recover on its own. It was exceptionally strong and flourishing. Qi and blood spewed out of his pores, creating a scene of heaven and earth collapsing. Vaguely, a terrifying dragon's roar exploded. It was deafening, and even the protective formation couldn't withstand it. It shook the vast sea and emitted tens of thousands of waves. Shocking waves. Long Xiao was shocked. This wasn't a dragon's roar, but Su Yan's body that was strong enough to let out a roar on its own. His body seemed to have grown imperceptibly. What had he gone through? Su Yan's primordial spirit most likely gained something. The flame phoenix said softly. In the true immortal realm, the primordial spirit and the body are one. Once something happens to the primordial spirit, it will directly affect the body. His body has grown imperceptibly, as if it has activated its talent. Su Yan's primordial spirit has gained great fortune. You're right. Fan Jian was also very knowledgeable. I wonder where the primordial spirit is. Since it has affected the body, it must be quite extraordinary. Yuan's eyes flashed with a cold light. He noticed that some warships were approaching them. He said coldly, "This group of dog-skin plasters. They caught up so quickly. Humph. Wait until Su Yin comes out of seclusion and his battle prowess increases. It's time to teach them a lesson." De Li and the others were restless. They had been hibernating all this time. Their progress was astonishing, and they had also grasped some of the Kuan Peng's techniques. All of them had undergone great changes. With the great fortune of a young fish fry, it would be difficult for them not to become stronger. Their battle blood was boiling. The Demon Extermination Alliance had been causing a great commotion these days. They wanted to attack and teach them a lesson. The ancient ship quickly left this area. Su Yin was in seclusion and couldn't be disturbed in any way. Moreover, without Su Yan's peerless battle prowess, the chances of defeating the Demon Extermination Alliance would be very slim. Rumor has it that the Demon Extermination Alliance had gathered a large number of Saint Child-level experts. They wanted to eat them all in one go. Saint Child, the underworld has sent over a space-time treasure. It can illuminate a large area of the ocean. Rumor has it that it has found the young Devil King's warship. At this moment, the odd heaven's Saint Child, who was far away from the Demon Extermination Alliance, heard these words and said coldly, "Don't worry about him. The great fortune is more important. Give me a bit more time, and I'll be able to get close to the sea region's fortune. Nothing can compare to the fortune here." The odd heaven's Saint Child was very confident. After all, he had the Imperial Heaven Dao diagram. This diagram had already calculated the approximate location. As long as he spent some time exploring, he would be able to find out where the treasures were hidden. I wonder what that sun in the sky was hinting at. He was constantly thinking about the eternal heavenly sun and wanted to find out its origin. Unfortunately, he couldn't find any clues even after searching with his primordial spirit. The odd heaven Saint Child had a premonition that the origin of that thing was not simple. Within the eternal heavenly sun, Su Yan's primordial spirit grew stronger day by day. It guided the yang energy to cleanse his primordial spirit. Gradually, his primordial spirit underwent a fundamental change. Vaguely, there was a majestic aura emitting from it that was above millions of divine flames. At the same time, there was a deafening explosion of Tao sounds. The mother scripture of heaven and earth was recited more and more mysteriously by him. Finally, it formed a shocking scene. Suddenly, many suns appeared behind Su Yan's head like 108 divine halos. They made him look like the holy emperor of the sun, which was releasing a terrifying soul flame. From man to immortal, Tao shouts exploded, causing boundless yang energy to gather. Su Yan's primordial spirit was somewhat distorted. His cultivation had reached the most important moment and was about to complete a shocking transformation. It was like being trapped in an immortal furnace and being burned. It was also like being cruelly burned in a sea of fire. The stronger the mother scripture of suns circulated, the more yang energy was attracted. It gradually filled heaven and earth, forming a sea of yang energy. It roared and surged, burning Su Yan's primordial spirit until it was about to explode. Su Yan released a painful roar. This transformation was completely different. His primordial spirit was about to give birth to some kind of substance like a body of flesh and blood. He was about to become a second Su Yan. His primordial spirit was madly absorbing yang energy, causing Su Yan's primordial spirit to begin to swell. It was as if he had swollen into a big fatty, his figure appearing very tall. Kacha! Suddenly, cracks appeared on his primordial spirit, one after another. However, it didn't cause any substantial damage to him. The main reason was that he had absorbed too much yang energy. It carried with it flames, burning Su Yan's ruined body. But the more it was like this, the more terrifying the aura gradually emitted from Su Yan's primordial spirit became. It was as if the incomplete spirit of the sun was awakening. It absorbed the essence of the sea of yang energy and also derived the laws of heaven and earth, the order of the immortal Tao. The evolution from a human to an immortal had begun. White mist! Su Yan's seemingly broken primordial spirit swayed. The white mist that had long merged with him completely melted at this moment. Su Yan didn't feel anything. He felt that this was a substance that belonged to him, and now it was returning to its rightful owner. He had such a feeling. Su Yan didn't know why he had such a mentality. In short, no matter who this thing belonged to, since it had fallen into his hands, it should belong to him. Otherwise, he would find a way to destroy the white mist. Su Yan didn't allow any substance that didn't belong to him to interfere with his cultivation path. This was also a potential threat. From this day onwards, the white mist and Su Yan's primordial spirit completely merged. At this moment, his primordial spirit shone brilliantly. Its aura surged like a bull, about to shoot down the 9 heavens. This substance completely belongs to me. It's really terrifying. Su Yan let out a long roar. His primordial spirit blazed brilliantly. His soul spirit soared to the peak of the true immortal realm in a short period of time, and it established a peerless Tao foundation for him. Moreover, under the birth of the scripture order of the Sun Mother Sutra, his primordial spirit turned into a body of flesh and blood. Its aura swallowed the starry sky, and it was like a ball of golden flames that burned the universe's sky. Boom! A terrifying radiance bloomed. It originated from the sun. The celestial splendor was dazzling, and the mother chi rose. That was Su Yan's primordial spirit. Its appearance was solemn and dignified. The body of the primordial spirit breathed on its own, swallowing all the yang energy in the world. He was like a celestial body of the sun that had been born. It became more and more blazing and shocking. Boom! Suddenly, Su Yan's pupils widened. His divine eyes were like 2 condensed suns burning, shooting out beam after beam of divine light. It was intimidating. This was the legendary heavenly eye of the sun. It appeared from Su Yan's heavenly eye and blossomed with a terrifying radiance. What kind of light is that? It's so dazzling. Many people in the boundless sea were astonished. They saw the bright radiance emitted from the sky. It was extremely dazzling, as if a person's eyes were opening and closing. Beam after beam of divine light shot out, as if the legendary fiery golden eyes were reborn. The demon is about to be destroyed. Auspicious signs are descending from the heavens. The peerlessly beautiful Tinshue Saintess, whose body was as delicate as water, spoke coldly. Her aura was incomparably powerful because they had completely confirmed the ancient ship's location. The Demon Extermination Alliance's lineup was huge. They had already begun to seal off the sea. After hiding for so long, I finally found you, Yin Juanhao from the underworld said with a cold aura. His cold eyes had already seen the situation on the ancient ship through the ancient mirror of darkness. The young Devil King, I've been waiting for his head for a long time. The Tongtian young master's tone was cold. After spending so much time, he had finally found them. The boundless sea was filled with murderous aura, freezing and cracking everything within 10,000 miles. Gods and demons were dancing wildly. It was a terrifying scene. This was the most terrifying battlefield. If a storm were to break out, the entire Emperor Road would most likely be shaken. Chapter 16:07. The gigantic golden ancient ship was engulfed in flames as it traversed the sea. Yuan and the others had already sensed the murderous aura emanating from the surrounding sea. This made their hearts tremble. The enemies were coming, and their movements were fast. They had probably already locked onto their location. The ancient Kunping corpse was of great importance. The arrival of this day was also within their expectations. Buzz! Su Yan's physical body was blazing and burning on its own. Although his primordial spirit had left his flesh shell, his primordial spirit still had a certain connection with his physical body. His primordial spirit was transforming day by day, stimulating his physical body to surge with blood. The commotion was getting bigger and bigger. Su Yan, who was at the fifth heaven of the true immortal realm, was extremely shocking. Even a slight ripple of energy from his body was enough to shake the heavens and earth. The void was shaking like a piece of paper. Su Yan's divine aura was vast and mighty. The yang aura emitted from his body was getting stronger and stronger. It was as if the celestial body of the sun had been born. It was dazzling and was about to become an eternal sun above the golden sea. I can feel the aura of the enemies. There are many of them, and they are approaching us. They have locked onto our location and sealed off this area of the sea. Yin Kei's expression was serious. Su Yan was still silent, and even Long Daesong was hibernating. The strongest, too, had yet to awaken. Once the enemies attacked, the consequences would be dire. Yuan waved his hand and threw out ancient war flags. They were placed around Su Yan. The formation was activated, covering the sky and the sun. It blocked out the energy leaking from Su Yan. More and more enemies are coming. I don't know how many experts have been mobilized. We have to fight this battle. Zhang Liang stood up with a heavy heart. Now that the enemies were attacking, most of them were here for the ancient Kunping corpse. This was no longer limited to the immortal tribe. There would definitely be many top experts of the younger generation who would want a share of the loot. Who is it? Yin Kei's expression changed slightly. She raised her jade-like hand and struck towards the sky. Bam! The void shook violently. Yin Kei's jade-like palm surged with flames. This was a scene of flames burning the sky. The void had already collapsed. The golden palm was about to hit the flesh shell of a giant beast. We've been discovered. What a powerful spiritual sense. The pitch-black shadow of a beast was huge. It was a void beast with a powerful aura. It was good at hiding and hiding. Once it awakened, the power of the void and blocked the fiery palm. The young Devil King is in seclusion. The void beast's eyes were ice cold. It didn't dare to stay here for too long. Its enormous body quickly disappeared into nothingness like a formless creature, disappearing without a trace. It's a void beast. Stop it. The flame sparrow clenched her jade-like hands. If the news of Su Yan's seclusion spread, The Demon Extermination Alliance's forces would attack the ancient ship they were on in a short period of time. Just as Yen Kei's voice fell, a deafening sound exploded. The sound shook the heavens, and the boundless void trembled violently. On the ancient ship, a ferocious silhouette that resembled an ancient evil dragon soared up. He possessed boundless strength and was exceptionally ferocious. One after another, heavenly dragons coiled around his body, making him look like an overlord of the heavenly dragons with peerless valor. Kill! Dali roared. His entire arm changed into a Kuanpung. His strength was shocking as he bombarded the void beast. Kuanpung divine ability. The void beast was frightened. This attack was too overbearing. It destroyed the entire void. Even its body was trembling. It spat out large mouthfuls of blood. This was the heavenly power of a Kuanpung. Its attack power was shocking. The void beast's enormous flesh shell was dyed red with blood. The void beast even felt that Dali was more like a giant beast than it was. It pounced fiercely and ferociously. The void beast's scalp went numb. Although it was not an expert on the top 10,000 list, it was still a level 3 true immortal. Moreover, the void beast bloodline could be called a divine beast clan. But it was the void beast. It did not expect a fierce general to walk out from Su Yan's side to be so ferocious. Dali roared with boundless strength. He raised his fist and smashed it, breaking the void beast's huge body into pieces. Its broken body also fell onto the ancient ship. Fan Jian went up and interrogated them. The information he obtained made their hearts heavy. They're almost here. The boundless sea became increasingly turbulent. Raging waves rolled on the surface of the sea, crashing against the ancient ship. Cold killing intent bloomed. The traces of the enemies began to appear. The killing intent covered the sun. The sea changed color and became gloomy. It was suffocating. In the celestial court, young kings stood on the ancient ship one after another. They were tall and big like young nobles. Terrifying auras filled the air. Their battle auras soared into the sky. Xiao Xiao, if we're no match for them, take Su Yin and leave. Yen Kei stretched out her jade-like hand and patted long Xiao Xiao's little head. Remember, go as far as possible. No. The little girl with silver hair that reached her waist waved her fist. I want to fight with you. I'm not afraid of them. Silly girl, this is the time to be a hero. You can be considered a true dragon and can roam the sea. Remember, take Su Yan's body and leave at the critical moment. Don't look back. Yen Kei smiled bitterly. There were too many enemies. Even if Su Yin and Long Day Song stood up, it would be difficult for them to defeat them. These were the saint children of the various great sections. There were also hundreds of true immortal experts. Their lineup was extraordinary, suppressing all life in the universe. The storm caused by the Demon Extermination Alliance was too shocking. It swept across the vast sea. The bone-chilling killing intent had already hit the ancient ship. The huge ancient ship was unstable and rustling. Even Su Yin, who was protected by the formation flags, was disturbed by the killing intent. His flesh was cold. Who is it? At this time, Su Yan's primordial spirit, who was waiting for the black tiger to return, was above the eternal sun. His face suddenly sank. His divine eyes burned like two celestial lamps, containing a terrifying might. He was like an invincible sage emperor, mighty and peerless. Su Yan's eyes were cold. It was as if he could see through the sea and see the murderous aura covering the sun. He saw the forces summoned by the Demon Extermination Alliance about to tear apart the Heavenly Court's battleship. They're here to kill me. He spoke. Su Yin, who was standing in the peerless domain, exuded an austere aura. The scene of millions of corpses faintly appeared under his feet. Su Yan's killing intent was too strong. At this moment, he was like a demon lord standing above hell. He said coldly, "Very good. Now that everything is complete, it's time to settle some grudges." Su Yin left at an extremely fast speed. He quickly returned to the sea and could return to the ancient ship in a short time. Yi Yuan and the others were facing a great enemy. Their tall figures stood on the ancient ship with cold expressions. The attack of the enemy gave them great pressure. However, at the same time, their battle blood was boiling. They wanted to give the enemy a heavy blow with their gains and accumulations in this battle. Where's the young demon king? Tell him to come out. Ingjun Hao pressed forward. His eyes were sinister as he looked at the kings of the celestial court standing on the ancient ship and said disdainfully, I won't bully you. Tell him to come out. Isn't he very difficult to fight? Today, I'll let him fight to his heart's content. I'll beat him until he kneels here and wails in despair. Over 100 top experts surrounded the ancient ship. They could erupt with their strongest battle strength at any time to destroy the ancient ship. Was there any suspense? Who could withstand this level of suppression? Who could? Ha ha! The saint child of the primal chaos paradise laughed loudly. Don't tell me the young demon king ran away. Don't blame me for not warning you. If you don't see the young demon king's corpse today, none of you will live. On long. The situation became more and more ferocious. At this moment, a powerful killing intent erupted. It was so cold that it pierced the bones. In an instant, the sky was cut open. A dazzling great halberd covered in resplendent immortal Tao runes appeared. It spat out innate essence and revealed a peerless sharpness. It tore open the entire void. It was terrifying beyond compare. The Skirich young master made his move. He appeared domineeringly and hacked down with a dazzling great halberd. Everyone could feel his aura, attitude, and tyranny. He wanted to tear the entire ancient ship apart in one move. He wanted to destroy all the enemies of the celestial court here. I'll kill you all. This was the confidence of the Skirich young master. He wanted to tear the ancient ship apart in one move and destroy all the experts. Yuan's expression changed. He activated the battle god art and was about to attack. Let me do it. Fan Jian had awakened. His body was like an immortal sword embryo. He drew the sky-dominating sword from his back. Saint Child, an expert from the sword sect, came over. His expression changed. The Saint Child's strength had increased by leaps and bounds. He had stepped into the fourth heaven of the true immortal realm, and his body was even stronger. He had directly used the sky-dominating sword art. It was obvious how powerful the enemy was. Boom! In an instant, the dazzling great halberd and the sky-dominating sword clashed. The sky exploded. The destructive light swept across the vast sea, causing a huge tremor. The Skirich young master was a little surprised. He didn't expect the world's #1 sword to block his attack. Come and fight me. Fan Jian roared and soared into the sky. His battle chi surged. He had to stop the Skirich young master. Sword Sect's Saint Child, you want to be eliminated. The Skirich young master's face was cold. He charged forward with the dazzling great halberd and attacked Fan Jian. Boom! At this moment, Zhu Yanghua rushed over. He raised his hand and hit a corner of the ancient ship. He didn't believe that the young Devil King would leave at this juncture. Loser. Zhu Yanghua looked at the flames sparrow disdainfully. However, Zhu Yanghua's face darkened. This woman's body was her weakness. However, at this moment, her body was ridiculously strong. Hee, today, I'll kill everyone from the Celestial Court. I'll remove their name from the Emperor Road. The entire sea region was in chaos. Killing intent filled the air and shot into the sky. Too many experts charged toward the ancient ship. The first batch of experts had the mentality of tearing apart the Celestial Court. Boom! The ancient ship glowed. Its body was terrifying as it burned. This giant ancient ship was covered in runes. It burned fiercely as hundreds of killing formations were activated. They were fully unleashed and covered the entire sea region. Kill them. Yuan roared angrily. His eyes were frightening. He was full of the aura of a martial god. His messy hair danced in the wind. His entire flesh shell surged with heavenly martial Tao fluctuations. An all-powerful martial god appeared behind him. It rose and fell with his movements. His wild battle strength poured out. An expert charging toward him trembled. He was stunned by Yuan's aura. The wild aura that followed tore his primordial spirit apart. Rumble! Li and the others' auras were fully awakened. They were powerful and intimidating. Standing on the warship, they were even taller and more powerful. Some people's expressions changed. How many young fish fry did they get? Each of them was masculine and domineering. They were not simple. Almost all of them were at the peak of the third-level true immortal realm. Their progress was ridiculous. If the Celestial Court doesn't stop them, they'll be incredible in the future. Annihilation in one battle. This is the fate of the Celestial Court's younger generation. One after another, the top experts of the younger generation wore cold expressions. A group of gods and demons danced wildly. Tyrant Rupture attacked, wanting to destroy the entire ancient ship. The most terrifying storm had already formed and shook the world. Chapter 1608. Between heaven and earth, flames burned, and runes covered the enemies densely. On the ancient ship, the kings of the Celestial Court unleashed all of their strength, awakening their strongest power. Their roars shook heaven and earth, and they were bathed in blood as they charged towards the top experts who were attacking the ancient ship. The most terrifying battle of the Emperor Road. In the distant world, many people were scared. The sea region within 1,000,000 miles was trembling, and the waves were rolling. Tsunamis were roaring, and the clouds were exploding. Even the starry sky was about to collapse. No, the demon-slaying alliance versus the Celestial Court. The onlookers were shocked. The battle was beyond their expectations. There were too many experts involved. Once the experts of the Saint Child level attacked, it was earth-shattering. Even the sea of runes was exploding. Kill! Dozens of top experts unleashed their power, and it was terrifying beyond compare. Almost 100 formations were destroyed in a single exchange, and the entire ancient ship was about to be destroyed. It was hard to imagine how much power was awakened, released, and rampaging. More and more experts from the demon-slaying alliance joined the battle. The lineup was terrifying, and even true immortal overlords would tremble in fear. The continuous increase in destructive energy was about to turn into a giant beast and destroy the entire ancient ship. Roar! Long Xiao Xiao awakened her strongest bloodline power and activated the primordial dragon horn, causing the sea region to be in chaos. Huge waves rose on the surface of the sea and surrounded the ancient ship. Soon, the waves turned into azure dragons, blocking the experts who were attacking the ancient ship. The ancient ship was guarded by a great killing weapon. In the past, it could withstand the attacks. But now, with hundreds of top experts in all directions, it was difficult to stop them even if the primordial dragon horn drew more energy from the sea region. Boom! Divine light bloomed in the sky. The Saint Child of the Chaos Grotto had extraordinary combat strength. They destroyed the huge waves, and their terrifying aura was like Mount Tai pressing down on the ancient ship. It had to be said that the ancient ship that was burning in flames was quite sturdy. It did not collapse, but the huge ship started to shake. One expert after another charged towards the ancient ship. Ares Art. Yuan roared angrily. His intimidating aura was ignited, and his messy hair danced in the wind. The prehistoric Big Brother's ultimate technique, the god of war art from the Flame Emperor organization, was unleashed. In an instant, Yuan's aura was pushed to a peerless level. Boom! He brandished the war god fists, slaughtering his way into the group of enemies. He was completely a blood-soaked overlord, punching his enemies with fists. There were immediately people who exploded, corpses and bones flying everywhere, blood splashing across the ancient ship. The group of people charging towards the ancient ship were startled. At this moment, they understood that even if the Celestial Court didn't have a young Devil King, this group of people alone was definitely a first-class expert. The immortal body elixir had nurtured them in the end, laying down a terrifying true immortal foundation. Is that a divine phoenix? There were also people who were shocked as they saw the miser recover after exhausting all of his resources. A silver divine phoenix spread its wings and slashed down from the heavens like a supreme being. Very quickly, its aura surged to its peak state as the Kuan Peng's heavenly powers erupted. Its gigantic claws slashed towards a giant beast with a powerful bloodline. The great divine ability of the Kuan Peng lineage. Everyone present went crazy as their eyes turned red. They didn't have any grudges with the celestial court, but the great divine ability of the Kuan Peng lineage was something they had to obtain. Kill for me. The battle became even more intense. A large group of experts charged towards the ancient ship, bringing out all kinds of secret treasures, divine abilities, and great killing weapons. It was a very shocking battle. Once struck by this series of attacks, even if one didn't die, they would be half crippled. At the same time, there were dozens of experts standing outside the ancient ship. They weren't in a hurry to make their move. These people wanted to conserve their energy to fight for the Kuan Peng divine ability. Wang Junhao activated the black ancient mirror and shone it on the ancient ship. Very quickly, he saw the young Devil King being protected by the array flags. Even though his primordial spirit had left his body, Su Yan's body was still as blazing as the immortal sun physique, containing a terrifying source of life. But all the experts who saw this scene were shocked. Just what level had the young Devil King cultivated to? He seems to be comprehending the Tao in seclusion. Junhao laughed. His words were shocking. This was the best opportunity to make their move. Without the young Devil King, they were nothing. Kill! The situation on the battlefield changed drastically. The experts who were besieging Yi Yuan's group all turned their spearheads and charged towards the area where Su Yan was sitting cross-legged. Get out of my way! Dully roared, facing the group of enemies. His flesh shell emitted thick blood and chi light, turning into heavenly dragons that revolved around Dali, forming a blood essence storm. His young aura was vast, and he pushed his strongest combat power to block them. Hee, you want to stop us with your brute strength? What wishful thinking. The dozen or so experts joined forces and charged over. They were extremely disdainful when they saw Dali obstructing their path. In their eyes, although this group of kings from the heavenly court was powerful, it was simply too laughable for them to think that they could take on 10 people by themselves in this situation. Dali let out a low roar. His entire being had gone mad. Yang Qi essence bloomed from his flesh shell. His tall and mighty body instantly enlarged. Dragon roars came from his flesh shell, as if he had really turned into a heavenly dragon, erupting with a terrifying dragon's might. True dragon tyrant body. Dali roared into the sky. He activated a forbidden secret art and burned his own life essence to obtain terrifying combat power. Join forces and kill him. After the expressions of the dozen or so experts changed slightly, they rushed forward in unison and unleashed all kinds of great magical powers. They wanted to destroy Li in one blow and kill Su Yan, who was in a dormant state. If you want to pass, you'll have to step over my dead body first. He roared, and the terrifying aura around his body surged in the distance. Tens of thousands of blood essence light rushed out of his pores, evolving into tens of thousands of heavenly dragons that charged towards the top experts with the intent to destroy the entire battlefield. Kill! The man who reeked of blood gave it his all, burning everything to protect Su Yan. Boom! The space-time here was distorted and deformed. Destructive energy swept across, tearing the sky apart. The world was shaken. This was a life and death struggle, giving up everything to unleash the most powerful attack. The blood essence in his body surged out, and the power of his flesh shell evolved into the heavenly power of the Kuan Peng as he attacked the enemies. Along the way, Dali's flesh was badly mutilated. He had suffered a terrifying pressure and was about to collapse at any time. However, this attack also displayed Dali's strength and savagery. Several experts were killed, and Long Xiao also used the immemorial dragon horn to pierce through a great enemy's body. Dali roared. The tall figure covered in blood went berserk. He was not defeated. He once again gathered the divine power in his body and charged towards the remaining 7 experts like a vicious dragon. Hurry up and take Su Yan away. Yin Ke and the others had also encountered great enemies. Zhu Yanghua, In Juanhao, the Tinshui Saintus, these experts were extremely powerful. They were blocked and could not kill their way to the Li's aid. On the ancient ship, a great battle raged on. Gods and demons danced about chaotically. It was a terrifying, chaotic battle. Saint Child-level experts contended for supremacy, and peerless true immortals fought. The atmosphere was violent and terrifying. No one could leave. They had all encountered great enemies. You want to leave? Haha, you're dreaming. The Saint Child of the primal chaos paradise had arrived. His eyes flickered with cold radiance as he stared at the still, silent Su Yin. This was an excellent opportunity to kill him. He rushed over and saw Su Yin rushing towards him. Long Xiao Xiao. The Saint Child of the primal chaos paradise revealed a cruel smile. He raised his hand and holy light surged. The primal chaos was like a sea, and a primal chaos doubt diagram appeared. Primal chaos myriad spirit diagram. Long Xiaoxiao's expression changed. This diagram was extremely frightening. Primal chaos appeared on the ancient diagram, and tens of thousands of evil spirits rushed out. She instantly summoned the primordial dragon horn and attacked the primal chaos myriad spirit diagram. However, the Saint Child of the primal chaos paradise was also extremely fast. He rushed over like a chaotic star. Long Xiao Xiao clenched her teeth and shouted. Although she was a little girl with silver hair that reached her waist, the destructive power of her fist was terrifying. It exploded the void and blocked the power of the Saint Child of the primal chaos paradise. Haha, a little girl dares to make an enemy out of me. The Saint Child of the primal chaos paradise sneered. His aura surged, and the primal chaos was like a sea. Runes covered the sky as his hand slammed towards Long Xiao Xiao. At the same time, he roared, Celestial Court, you're finished. None of you can escape. You'll all die here. Void Beast, do you want to fight with me over the young Demon King's corpse? The Saint Child of the primal chaos paradise's eyes suddenly turned cold. He saw a huge vicious beast quietly arrive in front of Su Yin. This vicious beast was much more terrifying than the one Dali had killed. Originally, the Saint Child of the primal chaos paradise wanted to kill Su Yin before the primal chaos beast. However, he was extremely surprised by Long Xiao Xiao's strength. This little girl with silver hair that reached her waist had an extremely barbaric dragon power in her body. She blocked his killing power one after another. Haha, I only want the Kuan Peng superpower. I don't want anything else. The Void Beast sneered. Its huge claws rose and slammed toward Su Yin, who was sitting cross-legged on the ground. Young Demon King, you can end it now. I didn't expect you to die in my hands. How laughable. The Void Beast's aura was gloomy. Its huge black claws were like mountains descending from the sky. It slammed down, wanting to kill Su Yin. Big brother, Dali roared. His eyes were bloodshot. Su Yan's primordial spirit had left his body. Many people widened their eyes. Could it be that the infamous young Devil King was going to die in such a sullen manner? Boom! However, just as the large black claw was about to press down on Su Yan's body, Su Yan's expression changed. Su Yan's body revived on its own. It was terrifying and horrifying. It was like the sun immortal body that illuminated the universe. It was majestic and peerless. It forcibly blocked the Void Beast's huge claws. Su Yin sat cross-legged in the void. 108 undying suns appeared behind his head. An aura that made people tremble spread out and covered the entire ancient ship. A large number of experts on the ancient ship were shocked. What kind of aura was this? It made them feel suffocated. It was extremely uncomfortable. The Void Beast was terrified. Its scalp was about to explode. It regretted coming here. It even realized that Su Yin had been awake all this time. He was not in a hurry to attack just now. He had been waiting, perhaps waiting for an opportunity to attack. Now he had revived. His pupils opened. It was like a dozen suns condensed together, shooting out beams of golden divine light. It made the Void Beast despair. It was like a sun immortal sword cutting its body. No, save me. The Void Beast cried out in fear. The silent person in front of it immediately erupted, its enormous flesh shell distorting, bones shattering one after another. Just how powerful was this person? Just how terrifying was his fighting strength? Boom! Su Yin stood up. His powerful aura covered the sky and covered the earth. The void beast was directly paralyzed on the ground. It could not even raise the will to fight against Su Yin. It crawled and trembled, and its body quickly shrank. It was like a black kitten, wagging its tail at Su Yin to curry favor. Chapter 1609. The Void Beast clan was adept at concealment and ambushing. It was difficult to suppress a living being of this lineage, unless one was extremely powerful. But now, the Void Beast that had ambushed Su Yin was prostrating at Su Yan's feet, trembling like a black kitten, wagging its tail at Su Yin to please him. Su Yin was like a supreme, immortal king, illuminating heaven and earth. His entire being was filled with a demonic aura. He stood on the ancient ship, shaking the world with his might. How is this possible? Many experts who were charging at the ancient ship trembled. What was this? The powerful void beast was subdued by Su Yin and was prostrating at his feet, trembling. Some people did not dare to look at Su Yin directly. The powerful aura that he exuded was like a million mountains pressing down on their bodies, suffocating them and making them tremble in despair. The world knew that Su Yin was powerful. He killed the vermilion bird with a single punch. His ferocious aura shook the Emperor Road, and he was known as a supreme power that could compete for the top 10 of the Emperor rankings in the future. But now, he was even more terrifying and perverse than before. Standing on the ancient ship, the expert's majesty was like the sea. This was an unparalleled might and boldness that shocked the world. He's finally awake. Yuan heaved a sigh of relief. He was fighting with Inju and Hao. Not only did he have to face Inju and Hao, but he also had to deal with the interference of many powerful enemies. This battle was very difficult for Yin, Kei, and the others. They could die at any time, but Miser and the others did not expect Su Yin to wake up so quickly. Su Yan's eyes were cold, like immortal swords, landing on the enemies on the ancient ship. When he saw De Li's battered body and Yi Yuan's bloodied appearance, Su Yan's aura became even colder. He was a little surprised. He did not expect so many experts to come. In the end, Su Yan's gaze landed on the chaotic grotto's saint, who was closest to him. Long Xiaoxiao stepped back and came to Su Yan's side. The little girl with silver hair that reached her waist was smiling from ear to ear. She was very nervous just now, but now she was very relaxed. Long Xiaoxiao was very clear about how frightening Su Yan's improvement in these days was. He was now at the 5th level true immortal realm, close to the 6th level. Young Devil King, the chaotic grotto's saint's face was gloomy. He held the chaotic million spirit diagram and said coldly, "So what if you're awake? If I were you, I would take the initiative to hand you the ancient Kuanping's corpse." Currently, there were still a few dozen top experts surrounding the ancient vessel, ready to launch a destructive attack at any time. Since they were here, they were not afraid of the young Devil King. However, before the primal chaos saint could finish his words, Su Yin had already arrived in front of him. The murderous intent in his eyes intensified. "You want to kill me?" The chaotic grotto's saint laughed. He pointed at Su Yin and said, "Young Devil King, I admit that you are strong, but don't think too highly of yourself. I am the saint of the chaotic grotto. Do you think I can't stop you? Be smart and hand over the ancient Kuanping's corpse. Is it difficult to kill you?" Su Yan's words infuriated the holy son of the primal chaos grotto. His aura was completely different as he released his strongest combat strength. Primal chaos surged and runes covered his body. His entire being was like a condensed cosmic grotto. Countless spirits appeared within him, emitting a world-destroying radiance. Chaotic Million Spirit Technique. The chaotic grotto's saint attacked. This was the chaotic grotto's secret technique. Once activated, the chaotic million spirit technique would appear. It was like returning to ancient times. "Kill!" he roared. His combat strength was ferocious. It filled the space between heaven and earth as he attacked Su Yin. Come. Su Yan's battle blood was already boiling. After being silent for a year, at this moment, he was emitting a wild aura. His long black hair danced in the wind. Boom! The sky split apart. Terrifying light bloomed. It was too sudden. On the ancient ship, a terrifying, majestic aura awakened. 5 immortal paths bloomed, drowning the sky. The chaotic grotto's saint's face changed. 5 heavens of the true, immortal realm? What a joke. How freakish was the young Devil King's foundation? 1 year was already a heaven-defying improvement. But now he was standing at the peak of the 5th heaven of the true, immortal realm. Once he erupted with power, the 5th heaven of the road of immortal ascension would be grand to the extreme. The chaotic grotto's saint tried his best to resist. In the extreme state of the chaotic million spirit technique, thousands of spirits appeared. It was like a group of chaos ancient beasts. One had to admit that the strength of this secret technique suppressed the entire battlefield. Boom! The silent Su Yin announced his return. His majestic aura was like that of a powerful fiend god who had broken through the shackles. Break for me! Su Yin roared to the sky. Divine light overflowed, and his chi and blood surged. The chaos in the sky exploded, accompanied by the sound of thunder from the 9 heavens. The chaotic million spirits were trembling. They were not facing a human cultivator, but a war god equal to the heavens. His chi and blood were too vigorous and intense, blazing to the extreme. With Su Yan's physical strength alone, he had forcefully shattered the primal chaos myriad spirit technique. The chaotic grotto's saint spat out a mouthful of blood. His eyes flashed with horror. How strong was his treasure body? The chaotic million spirit technique formation was directly destroyed by him. Come and accept your death. Su Yan's black hair danced in the wind. His eyes were like lightning. He waved his fist and punched at the chaotic grotto's saint. This punch was powerful and domineering. His arm glowed, and astonishing energy fluctuations flowed. The fist seal was grand and peerless. It exploded in an instant, destroying heaven and earth. The chaotic grotto's saint resisted with his fist, but he could not stop Su Yan at all. His fist exploded, and his body trembled. His flesh was badly mangled. Hurry up and kill him together. The chaotic grotto's saint was terrified. How strong was this combat strength? He was the saint of an immortal orthodoxy. Although it was not a flourishing immortal orthodoxy, the chaotic grotto was not a weak force. However, before he could finish his words, Su Yan's fist glowed. It was as if an immemorial star had struck. The scene in front of the saint was inconceivable. Everything was blasted through by Su Yan's fist. Only his fist was enlarged. Its power shook heaven and earth, and it could crush everything. Oh my God! The onlookers trembled. The chaotic grotto's strongest descendant was not even qualified to use the chaotic million spirit diagram. The terrifying fist aura directly swallowed everything. The saint's body trembled violently, and blood spurted out from his pores. How is this possible? He flew out and smashed into a corner of the ancient ship. His body trembled, and it was difficult for him to get up. The chaotic grotto's saint looked at Su Yan. Looking at the terrifying figure charging at him, he felt despair. He experienced the void beast's previous mentality. No wonder he surrendered at the first moment. The young Devil King's strength had shattered his belief. Buzz. He would not sit still and wait for death. He reluctantly activated the chaotic million spirit diagram, wrapped his broken body, and fled. Kill! Su Yan roared. His killing intent was even more intense and violent. His spirit was returning, and his battle blood was boiling. He was extremely close to glory and brilliance as he killed his way over. Wherever he passed, the enemies were terrified. They felt extremely uncomfortable, as if they were being roasted on a fire, trapped in an immortal furnace to be burned. Su Yan's chi and blood became more and more shocking. Yang chi surged and burned endlessly. Finally, someone exploded. His flesh burned, and his flesh turned into ashes. Bang bang. Groups of experts were sent flying. Someone cried out in fear. How many young fish seedlings did he eat? How could his chi and blood be so tyrannical? His vitality is too strong. Boom! The moment Su Yan attacked, the void collapsed and melted. It turned into a huge black hole. Along the way, the enemies were sent flying. Their bodies trembled, and some directly exploded. Those who were still alive were terrified. This was an invincible divine might that was difficult to match. Only a true overlord could compete with Su Yan. In fact, only a short period of time had passed since Su Yan came out of seclusion. No one would have thought that the chaotic paradise's Saint Sun would be defeated by Su Yan. The chaotic million-spirit diagram wrapped his broken body. The moment it was about to leave the ancient ship, Su Yan's majestic fist finally smashed on the totem. No matter how strong the totem was, Su Yan's fist was unparalleled. Covered with a heavenly beast glove, the terrifying power penetrated the chaotic million-spirit diagram and directly smashed on the chaotic paradise's Saint Sun's broken body. No! He was in despair. His broken body exploded as he let out a hysterical roar. Why aren't you attacking? What are you waiting for? Since you're here, you should choose to oppose the young Demon King. If he survives, he will definitely settle the score with you in the future. Su Yan's second punch came, causing the chaotic million-spirit diagram to dim and shatter. The powerful killing power began to devour the chaotic paradise's Saint Sun's final flame of life. Everyone was horrified. This was a Saint Child-level expert, yet he was facing the misfortune of being blasted apart and killed. In Ju and Hao and the others' faces were cold. Su Yan's strength had surprised and shocked them. If they didn't kill him, he would definitely be their strongest enemy in the future Monarch ranking contest. Don't hesitate. Attack. There are so many of us. Why should we be afraid of a young Demon King? The Kuan Peng's secret technique is worth fighting for. Kill him. Kill him. Other than the experts who were fighting with Yi Yuan and the others, there were more than a dozen experts attacking from all directions. They were all quite powerful. There were killing weapons in the sky, and great divine abilities were released. The sky was filled with a rain of divine abilities and an ocean of destruction. This attack was completely destructive. I don't believe you can survive. The Tianshui Saintess was the leader of the experts. She was beautiful and restless. If she could get rid of a young Demon King, it would be a great opportunity for her to become a famous superstar. Be careful. Tensor was very anxious. Su Yan was facing too many enemies, and there were too many people who wanted to kill him. Yin Juanhao and the others were teaming up with a group of experts. Now that Yi Yuan's combat strength had been greatly reduced, they were teaming up to deal with Su Yan. They wanted to wipe him out in one fell swoop. This was a rare opportunity. At this moment, no matter how strong Su Yan was, he was suppressed to the point where he lost his luster. Come at me. Ha ha ha. I'm not afraid of you bunch of rats. Su Yan's eyes were blazing with killing intent. He crushed the chaotic paradise's Saint Sun's body with a roar and bathed in the blood of the strongest descendant of an immortal orthodoxy. Then he fully awakened. Sword body art was released, primordial force filled the sky, and the indestructible body was activated. All kinds of divine powers were released and activated at the same time, boosting Su Yan's aura. His yang qi was vast and terrifying. Oh my God! The onlookers were shocked. They were still stunned by Su Yan's aura, even though they were separated by the vast sea. What was that? He was facing more than a dozen top experts alone, but he was still able to devour the starry sky and release a terrifying power. He was like an immortal, a demon, and an emperor, blocking the divine powers that filled the sky. The third form of the swimming dragon, Celestial Sword, locked down all kinds of killing weapons that were descending from the sky. Kill! He roared. Large cracks appeared in the sky one after another. The vast sea shook, and thousands of waves erupted on the surface of the sea, washing the starry sky. The bodies of several experts exploded. Even the perfected immortals couldn't withstand it, and had their bodies crushed by the roar. Countless onlookers were shocked. This was the young Demon King? Some people felt that this was a legendary golden, immortal war god who was invincible among his peers. Chapter 16:10. Su Yin was like an immortal and a devil, dominating the world. His eyes were cold, and his aura devoured the starry sky. He forcibly blocked the attacks of more than 10 experts. Just the scene alone was enough to shock the world. Just what kind of tyrannical domain had he reached? What kind of fortune did he obtain during this 1 year of hibernation? In short, his roar exploded with rolling golden ripples that danced in the sky like golden stars. They smashed into the bodies of more than 10 experts. This group of people had disheveled hair and felt as if their bodies were about to explode. The blood and chi in their bodies trembled chaotically and became unstable. There are also people whose bodies exploded. Su Yan's roar shattered their bodies, and they exploded into balls of bloody light. This group of experts with disheveled hair was frightened. Such a powerful formation had been destroyed by Su Yan, and several experts had died. Boom! The Tianxue Saintess suppressed the fear in her heart and summoned a great killing weapon to clash with Su Yan's silver dragon sword. Although the third form of the silver dragon sword was very shocking and had locked all the secret treasures that were smashing towards Su Yan, the killing array immediately became unstable when the holy maiden brought out her killing weapon. Even the silver dragon sword was trembling slightly. At this moment, more than 10 secret treasures came to life one after another and were about to knock the silver dragon sword away. Su Yan's eyes were blazing like a young, immortal king looking down on all life. The prestige of an expert poured out in full force and shook the heaven and earth. Su Yan exerted all his strength to revive and pushed forward a terrifying fluctuation that filled the entire battlefield. I can't take it anymore. Some people trembled and shouted in fear. This was Su Yan's most powerful killing intent. The pressure made them feel suffocated. At this moment, they wanted to escape from the battlefield and get away from the young Devil King. However, the entire space-time was locked down, and it was quite difficult to leave. It was as if a grand domain covered the sky and the sun, locking down the entire world and suppressing the battlefield. Kill! Su Yan's eyes were as intimidating as a heavenly blade. The murderous aura that sputtered out was too turbulent and could destroy everything. This was the release of the strongest power. An incomparable power was awakening and suppressing more than 10 experts. Even the Tianxue Saintess lost her composure. It was as if she saw a Kuan Peng leaving the sea and tearing the sky apart. An invincible monster was coming out of the gate to attack all enemies in this world. Kuan Peng divine ability, you've actually mastered it. Their expressions changed drastically. This was a peerless secret art with peerless offensive power. It might even be on par with the exalted saint technique. With such a valiant Su Yin protecting himself with this supreme divine ability, it was like adding wings to a tiger. At this moment, Su Yin was like the legendary Kuan Peng returning. The power he sprinkled down caused a dozen or so experts to tremble. One after another, their bodies began to crack and their bones began to shatter. They were about to be crushed alive. Kuan Peng divine ability. Yin Junhao and the others' eyes turned red. They also began to display their strongest battle strength. They were determined to obtain this great divine ability. In a short period of time, a large number of experts on the ancient ship went berserk. They joined forces with a group of Saint Child level experts to suppress Yi Yuan and the others until they were bleeding from their mouths and noses. They almost couldn't withstand the killing power of this group of people. Go all out and stop them for me. Don't let them participate in Su Yan's battle. Tensor roared. He, Yin Ke, Miser, Yi Yuan, Dali, Long Xiao Xiao, and other Peak Kings erupted with their strongest auras and fought with their lives on the line to buy time for Su Yan. As long as they could hold on and delay this group of people, they believed that Su Yan would be able to deal with the battlefield outside. This way, he would be able to freely kill Yin Jun, Hao, and the other Saint Child level experts. Boom! The vast sea region seemed to have been cut off. A terrifying aura spread out, and the prehistoric giant was returning. Su Yin transformed into a Kuan Peng. The moment he attacked, a large number of experts exploded, and even their souls were crushed. The strongest divine ability of the Kuan Peng lineage was ferocious. Under the eruption of Su Yan's peak battle strength, it was even more ferocious and terrifying. Corpses exploded in the void, and blood stained the sky. The rolling, bone-chilling blood even dyed the vast sea region red. The gods were crying, and the demons were roaring. The gods and demons were withering, and the Kuan Peng's divine ability was crushing everything. Go quickly. In the Demon Extermination Alliance, the strongest expert, the Tongtian Young Master, couldn't deal with the number one sword in the world and return to the battlefield in a short time. In Junhao and the others were also blocked. In all directions, more than 20 experts who hadn't participated yet were terrified. They didn't want to continue participating. Su Yan's strength had already made them tremble. If they didn't leave now, once Su Yan survived, he would definitely settle the score with them. They had underestimated the Celestial Court. No one could have imagined that Su Yan and the others had been crazily hunting young fish seedlings. Each of them was nourished by the immortal body fluid and had extremely strong vitality. Even if they were attacked by a group of enemies, they could still hold on for a short time. Yuan and the others were risking their lives to stop the saint-level experts. Everyone could see that the Demon Extermination Alliance wouldn't be able to break the stalemate in a short time. Once Su Yan was given enough time, the situation would very likely be reversed. Of course, the biggest variables in this battle were that the mysterious Sky Saint didn't participate, and that the number one sword in the world chose to stand on Su Yan's side and become enemies with the Tongtian Young Master. No one will live. Everyone who participates, no one will be able to leave. The cold voice was like an explosion from hell, engulfing the entire battlefield and the vast sea. It was incomparably cold. Su Yan was peerlessly powerful like a peerless true immortal. The Kuan Peng's heavenly force rushed out from his flesh shell, transforming into millions of Kuan Peng talisman scripts that sealed the entire sea region and imprisoned the entire battlefield. Young Devil King, you are too arrogant. Do you want to keep all of us here? His words angered everyone. One had to know that there were still a few saint-level experts who hadn't participated yet. Did Su Yan think that he could defeat them all? What are you afraid of? Everyone attacked together. The strongest descendant of the Fengtian school came out and coldly said, "Young Devil King, don't think that we are afraid of you." Everyone attacked together. I don't believe that he can endure until Yin Juanhao and the others are free. With so many of us, can't we kill one young Devil King? Kill him. More than 20 experts erupted. They knew the seriousness of Su Yan's words. Even if they left, they would still be punished in the future. In this battle, there were many experts gathered here. Could it be that they couldn't suppress one Su Yan? Kill. The shattered formation began to reform once again. The sea region changed color. Even the Tinshui Saintus and the four sons of Daesong joined forces. Together with a group of true immortals, this was a terrifying formation that could kill millions of people. Such a terrifying formation. The cultivators gathered in the distant sea region were all frightened by the murderous aura. The bloody battle continued on the ancient ship. Above the sea region, more than 20 experts joined forces, together with the strongest descendants of the four immortal sects. One could imagine how ferocious the situation was. The Kuan Peng's force was suppressed to the point of dimming. This group of experts had completely gone mad. They unleashed their strongest power, wanting to severely injure Su Yan in one move. Roar! Su Yan let out a long roar. In this apocalyptic situation, he became even more majestic and shocking. Buzz! Su Yan's forehead emitted a sacred light, as if a living scripture was reciting. Inside his sea of consciousness, soul energy leaked out like a sea of fire. It was densely packed with the supreme order and laws. The golden primordial spirit, sitting cross-legged inside, seemed to be giving birth to the sun immortal body. It released a terrifying soul energy that swept across the battlefield. Poof! A large group of experts felt as if they were struck by lightning. Their eyes turned black, and their souls felt like they were about to be torn apart. They only felt that billions of yang flames filled the space and time, wanting to burn down their souls. Ah! Someone screamed. His primordial spirit felt like it was being burned in an immortal furnace. In the end, it couldn't resist and exploded. His body was also torn apart, dying in front of the aura of Su Yan's primordial spirit. This is impossible. Tianxue Saintess lost her composure. Wasn't Su Yan's primordial spirit severely injured? But now, his primordial spirit was much more terrifying. This was the primordial spirit of the peak of the true immortal realm. It was terrifyingly hot and suppressed her primordial spirit to the point that it was trembling. Even their primordial spirits were shaken by the deafening chanting of the Mother Sutra. In an instant, a few experts in this group died. The rest were greatly weakened, and their primordial spirits were suppressed. Su Yan's forehead bone seemed to be giving birth to the Sun Saint Emperor. It had great divine power. The soul energy released was unbearable for the enemies. They started to feel dizzy, and their primordial spirits were about to be torn apart. Boom! Su Yan's expression was cold. He soared into the sky. The moment his primordial spirit merged with his flesh shell, his aura surged violently. Yang energy filled the sky and shook the universe. You trash! How dare you try to kill me? Go to hell! In an instant, the three Su Yin bloomed and swept across the battlefield in a short period of time. It was a shocking scene. The entire battlefield was destroyed. Under the Chi 3 Pure One state, the sky collapsed and the earth cracked. The enemies were torn apart and turned into bloody light. No, the enemies were terrified. They felt that they were no match for a giant. Before they could react, Su Yin had already killed his way over. He left corpses along the way. Soon, the entire space-time was collapsing. The sea was dyed red with blood. The smell of blood was pungent. Among the experts who died at Su Yan's feet, there were outstanding descendants of the ancients, experts who killed themselves to enter the battlefield of Emperor Road, and the strongest descendants of the great sections. In short, since Su Yin had killed his way to this battlefield, more than 30 top experts had been killed by him. The few holy sons who were still alive were in despair. Just what kind of opportunity had he obtained? Why had his primordial spirit grown to this extent? The Mother Sutra of the Sun circulated in Su Yan's sea of consciousness. His primordial spirit's aura alone was enough to kill the strong enemies. I'll send you on your way. Su Yan charged into the starry sky. His flesh shell shone brighter than the sun. Boom! The three Su Yin merged into one and turned into a new figure. His aura was even more ridiculous. He punched out with an irresistible force. The Tianxue Saintess' jade body cracked. The saintess of a great sect was in despair. She was severely injured and fled in panic. TCH, a shiny sword embryo flew out from the sky and cut off the Tianxue Saintess' head. Who's there? The Tianxue Saintess was in despair. Her head was separated from her body. She was terrified. Let me borrow your head. The Grand Saintess floated over and cut off the Tianxue Saintess' head with the sword embryo. She smiled at Su Yin and said, I'm here to sever the karma. Brother Demon King, you don't mind, right? Chapter 16:11. Supreme Saintess, you dare to kill me? The Tianxue Saintess was in despair. Her beautiful head was stained with blood. A peerless beauty of a generation, the Saintess of a great power, had been beheaded by the Supreme Saintess. This ghastly and bloody scene caused people to go crazy. The Tianxue Saintess was finished. Her head had been removed, and she had no chance of surviving. No one had expected the Supreme Saintess to take her head at this critical moment. So people felt chills all over their bodies. They clearly knew what happened in the Five Elements treasury, but they didn't expect the Supreme Saintess' response to be so tyrannical. She directly removed her head. Kill you? Why wouldn't I dare? Who do you think you are? Karma is just a cycle. The Supreme Saintess gently smiled. However, her beautiful smile caused the Tianxue Saintess' eyes to darken. She had once helped the Skirich young master to deal with the Supreme Saintess. Now, she had tasted the bitter fruit. She crazily screamed as her blood-stained head was about to explode. She would rather be killed by the young Devil King than fall into the hands of the Supreme Saintess. This was unacceptable. Su Yin didn't pay attention to the Supreme Saintess. His gaze was fixated on the other Saint-Child level experts. His pupils flowed with a golden brilliance that was even more brilliant than the sun. His killing intent was extremely heavy. Run! The three Saint-Child level experts were frightened and fled. Their previous lineup couldn't even suppress Su Yin, let alone them. It was impossible to stop Su Yin with just a few of them, unless Yin Juanhao and the others killed their way out. Supreme Saintess. At this moment, the battle in the distant sea region continued. It attracted everyone's attention. The world didn't expect Fan Jian's battle prowess to reach this level. His growth in these past few years was extremely shocking. The Sky Hegemon sword replica in his hand was constantly surging with boundless killing intent. There were many wounds on Fan Jian's body. He was facing the Skirich young master with monstrous magical energy, not to mention the sky-reaching halberd in his strongest state. His battle prowess had reached the pinnacle. A casual blow from him could erupt with boundless destructive force. The cruel part was that there were some cracks on the Sky Hegemon sword replica in Fan Jian's hand. This caused the hearts of the spectators from the sword faction to turn cold. Even the imitation of the sky-dominating sword was about to explode. It was hard to believe. Just what kind of material was the great halberd in his hand made of? Fan Jian's heart was bleeding. Although the Sky Hegemon sword replica was not destroyed, there were many cracks on it, and its sharpness would be greatly reduced. The young master of the Tongtian sect didn't look too good either. He didn't expect the number one sword under the heavens to be so difficult to deal with. Their objective was to kill the young Devil King. The young master of the Tongtian sect didn't care about anything else. But now, he was obstructed and couldn't deal with the young Devil King in a short period of time. He was also paying attention to the battle. He did not expect the Taishang Saintess to come and kill the Tianshui Saintess. Although the Tongtian young master knew that there was a grudge between them, why did the Taishang Saintess appear at this moment? Could it be that the Tongtian young master's face darkened? His Tongtian immortal physique surged with a blazing light, and the Tongtian halberd he wielded became even more terrifying. Kill! He roared and hacked down with the Dali. He had to get rid of Fan Jian quickly. You want to kill me? You're not strong enough. Fan Jian roared. His flesh shell was burning so much that it was about to explode. His maximum combat power surged, and the Sky Hegemon sword art was activated to the extreme. His entire body was like a sword that could destroy the heavens and earth, resisting the power of the Tongtian sect young master. Then let's see how long you can last. The Tongtian sect young master was enraged. His eyes emitted a cold light, and his palm suddenly rose. He used a great mystique to attack Fan Jian. Tongtian sect young master, I'm not someone you can kill as you wish. Fan Jian shouted coldly and used the Kuan Peng mystique technique to resist the Tongtian sect young master. However, he was surprised when a Lingbo fairy appeared out of nowhere. She was like an otherworldly fairy, and her aura was so shocking that she tore open a space-time crack. Bam! A snow-white hand blocked the Tongtian sect young master's palm toward Fan Jian. A terrifying aura surged forth, and the Tongtian sect young master was forced to retreat. It was too sudden, too high. The Saintess had arrived. Her expression was calm, and her beauty was breathtaking. The Tongtian sect young master's face darkened. This beautiful woman had always been the Tongtian sect young master's first wife. However, the Tongtian sect young master was so angry that his lungs were about to explode. She actually dared to help a man against him. Hee, Tongtian sect young master, my big brother's woman is here. Fan Jian's eyes turned, and he sent a sinister voice transmission. This made the Tongtian sect young master go crazy. Veins popped out on his forehead. He really suspected that she and Su Yin had some unspeakable secret. Otherwise, how could he explain the heavenly beast gloves? Back then, Su Yin had kidnapped the Saintess right under his nose. Could it be that something had happened between them? No matter who it is, she's mine. Anyone who dares to touch her will be killed. The Tontian sect young master's dermic powers surged. The Tontian sect halberd in his hand shone. An immortal path talisman script shot toward Fanjian. This is going to be a good show. The spectators in the distance discussed excitedly. The Saintess had attacked again. The two shocking talents fought together. This was the pinnacle of the battle, and it was not inferior to the battle of the top 10. Even the Saintess has been killed. This battle is going to shake the world. They're all successors of immortal sect orthodoxies. The spectators were tense. The battle was getting more and more tragic. The sea was dyed with blood. There were too many corpses at Su Yan's feet. One had to know that these were all first-class experts. Many of them died in battle, and their blood dyed the Golden Sea. Even the Saintess had been killed. Kill! Su Yin waved his fist, and his aura swallowed 100,000 miles. He was as cold as a god fiend, and he charged toward the 3 Daesung sons who were escaping. In the process, Su Yan's speed was too fast. He activated the power of the 8 steps and traveled through time and space. He caught up with the Saintess and punched. No! The destructive shockwave that rushed toward him made the successor of a great sect cry out in alarm. He tried to resist with all kinds of great magical powers, but Su Yan's fist was huge and peerless. It suppressed the starry sky and broke through all kinds of defenses. It made a bloody hole in his body. How strong was he? The Saintess had tried her best to revive, but Su Yin punched a bloody hole in her body. He even punched out 9 times in a short period of time. This Saint Child expert was in a tragic state. His body collapsed, and he exploded into a bloody light amidst endless despair and unwillingness. A Saintess had been killed by Su Yin. He was like a god fiend from hell, and his killing intent was bone-chilling. All this happened in a short time. He charged toward the other 2 Daesung sons again. I said, no one can escape. Su Yin walked in time and space. The power of the 8 steps made him peerlessly powerful. A huge golden hand rose up and covered thousands of miles of the sky with lightning speed, covering the sky and the sun. The palm was like the opening of the universe, and the 5 fingers were like giant pillars that supported the sky. The law of order appeared as if it was creating a boundless world. It slowly pressed down and suppressed the 2 Daesung sons at the same time. Stop him! Quick! The 2 Daesung sons cried out in alarm. The boundless palm was boundless and slammed down. The boundless ocean exploded, and countless large cracks spread out. A majestic palm descended from the sky, containing a boundless aura, and suppressed the 2 fleeing saint sons. They were in despair. What kind of exuberant and peerless mana was this? No matter how powerful their divine abilities were, they could not break free from Su Yan's giant golden hand. They could only watch helplessly as the giant hand landed on their heads. Boom! A loud explosion sounded, shocking everyone's heart. The bloody scene was shocking. The 2 Daesung sons struggled madly and released all their trump cards and magical powers. However, they couldn't break through Su Yan's boundless power. As the 5 fingers closed, it was as if the universe exploded and chaos reappeared. No, spare me, don't kill me. I'm a Saintess of the Fengtian sect. You won't have a good ending if you kill me. The 2 Daesung sons cried out in despair. They couldn't escape. The scene was like an eagle catching a chick. They were caught by Su Yan's hand. Even if the 2 Saintesses had flesh shells as hard as the stars, they were still crushed by Su Yan's hand mercilessly. You won't live. I've said it before. If you dare to kill me, you'll have to bear the consequences. Su Yin said coldly. The 2 Daesung sons were crushed by Su Yin. Blood rained down from the sky. The scene was horrifying. A large number of true immortal overlords were killed. Their blood dyed the golden ocean. Su Yin stood on the battlefield like an invincible war emperor. He swept through the entire battlefield and killed all the enemies. Is the Devil King invincible? Even the 4 Daesung sons were killed by him. His combat strength is too terrifying. Such a terrifying lineup was destroyed by the young Devil King. What kind of opportunity did he get in this year? How did he change so much? His cultivation is about to reach the sixth heavenly layer of the true immortal realm. The spectators in the distant world were stunned. They felt a chill from head to toe. Someone looked at the figure standing on the blood-stained ocean. He was too tall and majestic. He was filled with a shocking divine aura. This was the supreme demeanor of a peerless expert. It was so powerful that it made people feel suffocated. The young Devil King. In Junhao's expression was cold. There was no fear in his eyes, only a little heavy. This enemy was too strong. He must be eliminated. At the same time, Su Yan also looked over. The battle on the ancient ship was extremely fierce. Yuan and the others were all heavily injured. They were about to die. Su Yan was really angry. Li was almost killed. The miser's wings were broken. One of Tenser's arms was chopped off. The scene was too horrible to look at. In order to buy time for him to kill the enemies, his brothers almost went all out. Kiki, Zhu Yanghua smiled. He looked at Su Yan and said, "The reason why we've been fighting for so long is because there are not enough people to share the spoils. These people are not strong enough, but the tribes behind them are not weak. If we really kill you, the Kuan Pong's secret technique will be made public." As soon as he finished speaking, Zhu Yanghua's aura became extremely strong. The sky bamboo primogenitor's roots in his body emitted a light that could open the sky. All kinds of unimaginable phenomena appeared. It was as if it had penetrated the entire universe. Young Devil King, you're dead meat. No matter how strong you are, you can't escape this calamity. In Junhao's aura also became ferocious. This made Yuan pale. This was the blooming of reincarnation. Yuan, who was already exhausted, was about to die of old age. He roared. The Aries art awakened and forcefully broke free from the influence of reincarnation. They preserved their strength. Many people were shocked. Zhu Yanghua and Yin Junhao most likely had the strength of a young paragon. There were even many experts on the ancient ship who were eyeing them covetously. Originally, some people were afraid of Su Yan. But now, Zhu Yanghua and Yin Junhao's powerful aura calmed them down. This battle was not lost yet. Zhu Yanghua, Yin Junhao, and the rest of you, Su Yan said coldly, come over. The experts were shocked. Was he going to challenge all of them? One had to know that there were 9 of the most outstanding disciples of the immortal sex on the ancient ship. How arrogant of you, Zhu Yanghua said coldly. Young Devil King, it's time for our grudge to end. In an instant, the void around him collapsed. His body seemed to have been planted in the universe, spitting out light. It was extremely brilliant and resplendent. Anyone could feel that he had the strength of a paragon. Did stealing the primogenitor's treasure give you the belief of being invincible? You think you're qualified to compete with me? Su Yan's eyes were cold. He strode forward. His aura became more and more shocking. He looked down at all the experts on the ancient ship and said coldly, I'll say it again. None of you will live. Su Yan's expression was cold. He charged towards the ancient ship alone. He wanted to face all the experts on the ancient ship alone. Chapter 16:12. Su Yan approached the blood-stained ancient ship. He took one step after another, bringing with him a terrifying tide of energy. It was as if the heavens were falling and the earth was rending. His steps were steady and his figure tall. His blood-stained hair draped over his shoulders. His awe-inspiring majesty flowed with resplendent radiance. Terrifying laws and orders emerged from the soles of his feet as he charged towards the ancient ship. The entire ancient ship trembled violently. It couldn't withstand Su Yan's aura and was on the verge of collapsing. The onlookers felt as if their guts were being torn apart. Just how powerful was the young Devil King? Just how powerful was he that he dared to challenge all the experts on the ancient ship alone? Without a doubt, his actions angered Zhu Yanghua and the other 9 Daesung sons. Although they admitted that Su Yan was powerful and extremely terrifying, wasn't it wishful thinking for him to face all of them alone? Dong dong dong. However, one step after another shook the heavens and earth. It was as if the drums of the heavens were beating, shaking the heaven and earth as it surged towards the ancient ship. There were dozens of heaven's prides on the ancient ship. The 9 saints' sons were still fine, but the others felt as if they were facing a great enemy. Some of them felt their hearts tremble as they sensed the overwhelming blood energy fluctuations. It was too intense and exuberant. It burned their bodies until they felt a stabbing pain. What kind of blazing aura was this? It assaulted their faces. Suddenly, they felt as if they had seen a demon lord crossing the heavens and charging towards the ancient ship to tear everyone apart. Not good. Zhu Yanghua's expression sank. He suddenly raised his large hand and struck towards a blurry space-time path. However, he was still a bit too slow. Su Yin used the power of the 8 escapes to forcefully open up a space-time path and lead Yi Yuan and the others out. Cough, cough. Yi Yuan and the others were severely injured. They had been burning their life force to fight since the start of the battle. It was already quite impressive that they had managed to kill many enemies. De Li's injuries were the most severe. His body was riddled with holes, and he was on the verge of death. He was so weak that he couldn't even speak. Tensor was missing an arm. His tall and majestic figure swayed as he left the ancient ship. They had recovered from their state and were all breathing heavily. Their injuries were too severe. He wants to escape. In Junhao roared in a low voice. However, as soon as he finished speaking, Su Yan's chi surged once again. His killing intent was as sharp as the heavenly saber, rushing towards the ancient ship. On the blood-soaked ancient ship, a large number of experts were trembling. Their skin and bones were about to be torn apart by Su Yan's killing intent. All of them felt a chill from head to toe as they felt a world-shocking pressure. It was extremely suffocating. At the same time, they were almost crazy. If they didn't get rid of this person, they would definitely be dealt with by Su Yan. They had to kill him. Now that things had come to this point, no one would give up. Since they had chosen to come, they had to bear the consequences. Young Devil King, a man with a shocking aura, stepped forward and said coldly, "You are very strong, but do you think you can kill all of us by yourself? His courage is commendable. Huafeng, come back. You are no match for him." In Junhao said coldly. There was no doubt that the young Devil King was strong. It would not be easy to kill him. Wang, Huafeng's entire body suddenly burst into flames. This was the flame of the immortal Tao burning. Moreover, there were talismans blooming. The laws of order interweaved, burning the void until it turned into a huge black hole. He was like a king of fire. Everyone knew how strong Huafeng was. He was an expert on the emperor list. The Hui clan's inheritance was also extremely ancient. This clan was not inferior to the immortal clan. No matter, Huafeng said confidently, "I will exchange a few blows with him. This whetstone is too rare. Maybe it can help me break through a shackle in my cultivation." Many people's hearts trembled. Huafeng's confidence was really strong. He treated Su Yin as a whetstone and had the confidence to exchange blows with him. Of course, Huafeng was not arrogant enough to kill the young Devil King. He knew that this person was very strong. Now, Huafeng wanted to exchange blows with this person to stimulate his potential. In short, In Junhao and the others were nearby. Huafeng did not think that he would encounter any trouble. On the ancient ship, Huafeng rushed out. The flames on his body became more and more brilliant, burning with the light of immortal flames. His flesh shell also surged with raging flames and immortal splendor. It was quite powerful. As expected, Huafeng cultivated the immortal flame body. No wonder he dared to fight against the young Devil King. Some people were endlessly shocked. This was the immortal flame body among the supreme, precious bodies. It was powerful and flourishing. His body was like an immortal flame that could burn through 10,000 Tao. His body was also like a condensed immortal sun in the sky, blossoming with immortal flame radiance. Immortal flame, heaven-burning technique. Huafeng roared and rushed over murderously. He released his most powerful battle strength. A sea of flames was born. Everything became blurry. The people of the world could not see the battle scene clearly. They only saw the sky full of immortal flames enveloping Su Yan. They burned fiercely, Symbols blossomed. Order filled the sky. This was Huafeng's most powerful battle strength. However, just as the rolling immortal flames burned Su Yan's flesh shell, Huafeng was stunned. He saw Su Yan's forehead bone shining, as if it was nurturing the Sun Saint Emperor. A primordial spirit that was like a body of flesh and blood spewed out light. The sky, full of immortal flames, was swallowed by him in one breath. Mother Sutra, Huafeng's eyes were red. He was almost crazy. He saw the aura of the Heaven and Earth Mother Sutra and the fluctuations of the Sun Mother Sutra. This kind of supreme sutra made the primordial spirit swallow the sky, full of immortal flames, in one breath. In an instant, a world-shocking aura bloomed. It quickly stirred up and burst the universe. Everyone felt a chill from head to toe. They saw Su Yin punch forward, imprisoning Huafeng's body along the way. The latter was in despair and fear. The power of immortal flames he was so proud of was swallowed by Su Yan's primordial spirit. What qualifications did he have to resist Su Yan? How is this possible? Everyone was stunned. The powerful Huafeng, the descendant of the fire tribe, has said he would use Su Yan as a whetstone, had his head blown apart by Su Yan's fist. His entire flesh shell was torn apart. What was this? Did he come here to deliver his head? But wasn't Su Yan's strength a bit too ridiculous? Why was Huafeng killed by thunder? What happened just now? Huafeng miserably cried out. His torn-apart body emitted an intense pain that nearly drove him insane. He wanted to roar out loud and spread the news that Su Yan had grasped the Sun Mother Scripture, but it was useless. Su Yan's fist was too powerful and tyrannical. Even though Huafeng's cultivation was superb and his life force was tenacious, he was only able to struggle for a moment before his flesh shell burst apart, turning into a mass of blood. Am I not dreaming? The distant onlookers were petrified. Huafeng had been killed with a single fist? This was too unreal. They all thought they were seeing things. Was this the same fire tribe genius who used Su Yin as a whetstone to force out his potential? He was killed by Su Xianren with a single fist. The young demon king. How can he be so strong? The blood-stained ancient ship was silent. In Juanhao and the others also found it hard to believe, especially those who were familiar with Huafeng. They knew that he was not a simple person, but now he was killed by Su Yin with a single fist. This was too inconceivable and too shocking. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. At the next moment, something that left everyone dumbfounded happened. Because on the ancient ship, the 5 great experts left, and they ran away at lightning speed. However, these people did not run very far. Only a breath of time passed. The sea began to tremble, and a terrifying figure appeared. He was in human form, his expression cold and his black hair loose. He came and blocked the 5 powerhouses. He coldly said, "I said that none of you will live. Since you dare to kill me, you must bear the consequences." The young demon king. The 5 powerhouses were terrified. Since they chose to flee, it meant that their combat strength was inferior to Huafeng's. Now that they saw this fierce person standing in front of them, the 5 powerhouses felt despair. Su Yin suddenly lifted his large foot and descended from the sky. He was like an emperor who was the master of all kings. He brought along a storm that caused the collapse of the starry sky as he stomped down. The 5 great experts were no match for them. No matter how world-shocking their methods were, the energy substance they produced collapsed and disintegrated. Even this part of the sea was blasted apart. Tens of thousands of stormy waves rolled and surged on the surface of the sea. Idiots! Ying Juanhao and the others' faces were gloomy. They did not even think of helping them resist Su Yin. The escape of the 5 powerhouses had already made them lose face. With so many powerhouses gathered together, did they still need to fear the young demon king? To put it bluntly, even if they could not stop the young demon king, who could stop them from leaving together? Bang, bang, bang. The 5 powerhouses exploded one after the other. Su Yan's methods were extremely bloody. His cold eyes emitted a cold light. He had no mercy. The path of the strong was the survival of the fittest. If he did not obtain the Sun Mother Scripture, This battle would be extremely difficult, and there would be a crisis of death. Immediately after, on the other side of the sea, a shocking storm exploded. The third Su Yin appeared. Under the Qi 3 Pure One state, the three Su Yin stood in the sky. You are too arrogant. Zhu Yanghua's cold eyes stared at the three Su Yin who were closing in on the ancient ship. Before they could make a move, Su Yin took the initiative to attack. The three Su Yin's expression became colder and colder. His essence, energy, and spirit were too terrifying. The vast sea had already begun to tremble. In the distant sea, many people were shocked. They could clearly see Su Yan's conviction. This was the aura of invincibility. It could sweep away thousands of soldiers and dominate the world. Su Yin took the initiative to approach. His conviction became more and more terrifying. What young supreme being? What successor of a great sect? At this moment, they were like corpses in front of Su Yin. Big Brother is getting stronger and stronger. Dali's blood boiled. He frantically absorbed the immortal body liquid to recover. Su Yan's long hair danced in the wind. He was tall and majestic. Every one of his body emitted terrifying energy ripples as he rushed towards the ancient ship. Attack! He is stalling for time. Yin Junhao roared. Seeing the heavily injured Yi Yuan, these people recovered surprisingly quickly. They did not hesitate at all. They took out a large amount of immortal body liquid to nourish their bodies and replenish their life force. This was immortal body liquid. It was used to recover extremely quickly. Come and fight. Su Yin let out a long roar. The three mighty figures crossed the void and attacked. Suddenly, this sea formed a world-shaking scene. It was as if three great ancient stars were dyed in blood. They crossed the sea with a rumble and arrived in front of the ancient ship. Gods and devils danced chaotically, fighting bloody battles in the sky. The enemies on the ancient ship also released their strongest auras and attacked in groups. A great battle between the peak was about to break out. When they truly collided and attacked, the blood-stained ancient ship could not withstand the destructive power and directly exploded. Yin Junhao directly used the reincarnation divine ability to suppress Su Yin. Su Yin let out a long roar. He released energy fluctuations that were even more turbulent than the sea and attacked the second Su Yin. Kill! They roared, their eyes cold. They really did not believe that Su Yin could block such a great lineup. With 9 Daesung experts working together, who could break this situation? They did not believe that Su Yin was really terrifying. He could crush everything. Chapter 16:13. The ancient ship exploded. The murderous aura surged violently and drowned the entire heaven and earth. The boundless sea was trembling, and the starry sky was undulating. The energy storm that was produced was truly shocking. Who could match this kind of supreme, murderous aura? It was almost enough to destroy the heaven and earth in a single move, causing a great calamity. The onlookers were terrified. The young Devil King dared to take the initiative to attack in this situation. How powerful was he exactly? Quick, hurry up and recover. Yi Yuan's eyes were wide open in anger. No matter how good Su Yin was at fighting, it would be hard for him to maintain his current state for a long time. They had to recover a certain amount of strength quickly so that they could support Su Yin at the crucial moment. The power of Kun Peng. In the destructive situation, the immortal weapons would be destroyed in a single move. However, the three Su Yan's blazing body were overflowing with terrifying heavenly power. It was as if the slumbering Kun Peng was awakening, and it opened up its own unrivaled domain. The strongest combat power was unleashed. Billions of Kun Peng symbols burned, outlining the power of three Kun Pengs. Each Kun Peng was like a living creature. Their bodies were huge, and they could tear apart the sky and the sea. It was as if the stars in the sky were withering. Kill! A deep roar exploded. The three Su Yin pushed the Kun Peng's heavenly power and charged towards the enemies with a great aura that suppressed everyone. Almost in an instant, some people cried out in fear. Even their flesh shells were destroyed. They couldn't withstand the attack of the Kuan Peng's power. They felt as if they were crushed by a huge monster. They were like small stones that collided with a huge mountain. It was a shocking scene. The three Kuan Pengs swooped down. The heavenly power was vast and mighty. It was as if even a true dragon was destroyed in a single move. Their conviction was too strong. It was as if they wanted to prove their Tao through killing. One after another, the cultivators were incapable of holding on, and their fleshly bodies exploded. They all died wretchedly. Under the bombardment of such terrifying heavenly powers, the entire ocean region roiled, and the heavens and earth lost their luster as they were completely suppressed. This was the aura that could swallow the whole world. Someone couldn't help but cry out, "The young Devil King is too powerful." This is the combat power of a young supreme being. Without this domain, even if a little bit of energy leaked out, it would be extremely difficult for ordinary people to resist. Blood rained down from the sky. At least 4 true Immortal Realm experts spurted out blood. They couldn't withstand the suppression of the Kuan Peng's heavenly power. The Chi-turning 3 and the Kuan Peng's divine ability. 2 unparalleled divine abilities were unleashed, carrying with them the boldness to suppress the battlefield. One had to admit that this scene was quite shocking. The onlookers felt their scalps go numb. They knew very well how powerful and abnormal these people were. Reincarnation power. Junhao let out a loud roar, pushing the light of the Tao of reincarnation into the sky, as if he was trying to construct the 6 paths of reincarnation here. The waves of energy released by the 6 paths of reincarnation darkened the heaven and earth as they surged towards Kuan Peng's heavenly powers. If they allowed Su Yin to continue killing like this, other than the 9 sons of Daesong, no one else would be able to survive. Even if they could suppress Su Yin, it would still be a great humiliation. Suppress. Junhao unleashed the underworld's strongest divine ability. This was also known as the strongest divine ability in history, the Tao of reincarnation. It was exclusive to the underworld. The moment the Tao of reincarnation was unleashed, the entire sky was filled with reincarnation light rain. Originally, Junhao wanted to suppress the 3 Kuan Pengs in one go. However, the strength of this divine ability shocked him. Its offensive power was unparalleled. Just by suppressing 1 Kuan Peng, the Tao of reincarnation almost couldn't withstand it. At the same time, he was also envious. The value of this divine ability was too high. Once he obtained it, it would definitely become the secret technique of the underworld. Boom! Zhu Yonghua's huge hand rose up, revealing a terrifying aura. It was like the incarnation of an ancestor who wanted to kill his way through the river of time. It forcefully suppressed the other Kuan Peng. What? At this moment, Junhao's expression changed drastically. The Tao of reincarnation that was suppressing the Kuan Peng swayed. Vaguely, Junhao also caught a familiar aura. Was it the smell of reincarnation? Could it be? Junhao's expression was extremely ugly. Could it be that Su Yin had mastered the Tao of reincarnation? However, this was a divine ability exclusive to the underworld. It was impossible for outsiders to learn it. Could it be that Su Yin had come into contact with the ultimate treasure medicine, the elixir of reincarnation? Boom! The entire Tao of reincarnation suddenly collapsed. Su Yin charged forward like the reincarnation of the Kuan Peng. He raised his fist and punched at Junhao. "Do you think I'm afraid of you? Come and fight." Junhao roared like a demon. His hair danced in the wind, and his corpse aura surged. His physical body was also indestructible. He directly chose to meet Su Yin head-on. One had to know that the underworld was extremely good at physical bodies. They were not inferior to the immortal race. Although Junhao didn't have the strongest reincarnation body in the underworld, his physique was not to be underestimated. "Young Demon King, give me your life." In another battlefield, Zhu Yonghua's aura was blazing. His body spewed out heavenly radiance. His mouth and nose sputtered out monstrous killing order as he charged toward Su Yin. In the third battlefield, a large number of experts joined forces and charged towards the third Su Yan. In short, the situation was shocking. The three great Su Yan fought at the same time. This was his crazy estate. Under the three pure ones Shi, he fought against all the enemies in the battlefield. Kill. A group of experts followed Yin Junhao and charged towards the first Su Yan. The scene was shocking. The two great Yingjies with terrifying physical bodies fought head-on. It was like two cosmic stars colliding with each other. Terrifying energy storms flowed out, wreaking havoc between heaven and earth. It also spread out in all directions. Puff! The group of cultivators who followed Yin Junhao trembled. Their bodies trembled, and some of them were sent flying. This kind of battle is not something we can participate in. They were terrified. It was equivalent to a battle between supremes. If they wanted to participate in it without sufficient combat strength, they would be courting death. They felt a great sense of defeat. The gap between them was getting bigger and bigger, and it was impossible to make up for it. In the future of the Emperor's Road, could it be that Su Xianren really had a place in the top 10 strongest cultivators? Young Demon King, I want to see how tough your physical body is. Yin Junhao roared. An even more ferocious punch burst out. As one of the strongest descendants of the underworld, Yin Junhao's physical body was extremely strong and domineering. Dark energy bloomed, covering the power of reincarnation. The power of his punch was Su Yan. Kill! Su Yan also roared. His disheveled hair fluttered in the wind. His moves were grand, and he formed fist seals to fight against Yin Junhao's dark fist techniques. Boom! The two big fists collided. In a short period of time, they had clashed more than 10 times. Blood was spilled from every punch, and the scene was too horrible to look at. In the end, Su Yan was extremely powerful. His primordial spirit shone with primordial spirit light, penetrating his flesh shell and stimulating his battle physique. Holy light scattered the clouds, and his blood chi was golden. He was like a great demon king. This attack was unparalleled, and the fist seals were peerless. It was like a golden age, and it shattered everything. In Yin Junhao's eyes, nothing existed except for Su Yan's fist. Su Yan's fist was filled with an invincible aura that suppressed the universe, causing Yin Junhao's fist to break into pieces. His body trembled violently, and thick blood spurted out. Su Yan was extremely wild. His primordial spirit had stepped into the peak of the true immortal realm. When he was in his strongest state, there were very few who could compete with him in terms of physical strength. The world was shocked. The powerful Yin Junhao was no match for Su Yan at all. He was sent flying by Su Yan's dozens of punches. Even the bamboo sunflower is suppressed. How strong is the young Demon King's physical body? To be exact, because the young Demon King's primordial spirit is too strong. He seems to be standing at the peak of the true immortal realm. Su Yan's primordial spirit was severely injured in the past, but now his primordial spirit has become his most terrifying trump card. The situation of his second battlefield changed greatly. Originally, the bamboo sunflower had a supreme technique that could suppress Su Yan's incarnation. But when they really fought, the latter's primordial spirit and physical body fused together. Holy light surged like a burning sun immortal furnace. Even if the current bamboo sunflower was powerful and shocking, he was still beaten back by Su Yan's incarnation. His situation was not much better than Yin Junhao's. Even the primordial spirit light that shone down from Su Yan's forehead was terrifying. How can your primordial spirit be so strong? Bamboo Sunflower's face was gloomy. He could not believe that even his primordial spirit was suppressed. This made Bamboo Sunflower's combat strength suffer greatly, and he felt powerless. If Su Yan alone is able to sweep through the entire battlefield, he would really be the biggest joke in the world. You're thinking too much. The young Demon King's 3 incarnations' auras are obviously weakened. After all, the enemy he encountered is extremely strong. The Chi 3 Pure One state is very harmful to him. The whole battlefield was quickly magnified. The battle had entered a white-hot state. A large number of secret treasures rotated in the air, trying to interfere with Su Yan. but it was useless. Jin Yong Yun's copper furnace, Milky Way gourd, silver dragon sword. These three treasures were protecting Su Yan. The battlefield was also divided. After a long time, Su Yan's combat strength was somewhat depleted, but this did not affect his combat strength. Finally, Yi Yuan and the others rushed over. They used the immortal body liquid to recover a lot of vitality in a short time and charged into the battlefield. You came at the right time. The three incarnations shone at the same time. In a short time, they fused into one, turning into a new majestic figure. In an instant, his aura was terrifying. His roar shook the whole battlefield. Ah! A true immortal screamed. He was shaken by Su Yan and then exploded. Who dares to fight me? Su Yan looked around disdainfully. His black hair danced in the wind. He released his robbery path secret art. The whole world was filled with bloody light. Many enemies were terrified. They coughed up blood. Their souls were about to be dominated by the robbery path secret art. He's even stronger. These people's voices trembled. He was even more terrifying than before. He revealed a strong belief. He did not care about any enemy and crushed them all. Kill. Su Yan was still fighting. Every time he revived, he revealed a majestic aura that shook the sea. Was this a true immortal? Powerful beyond compare. Chi three pure ones merged into one. In a short time, Su Yan's combat strength was terrifying. The energy tide that covered the sky and earth surged forward, destroying everything in its path. Some enemies were like scarecrows. They could not withstand the aura that came at them. Su Yan pushed forward and killed his way to Yin Junhao. Yin Junhao also entered a frenzied state. He released his supreme bloodline, and the underworld scriptures were activated. He released the most terrifying aura and attacked Su Yan. There was no way back. He could only go forward. Otherwise, he would die here. Kill. Kill your way to invincibility. Yin Junhao roared. His belief was shocking. He was not crippled. Instead, he became stronger as he fought. In his final state, he pushed his divine power to the sky and attacked. Who dares to be invincible? Su Yan's eyes were wide open. His aura swallowed everything. The primordial spirit between his eyebrows bloomed, causing Su Yan's flesh shell to burn. It was like the awakening of the holy emperor of the sun. In an instant, a terrifying wave surged. It was more powerful than the sea and shook the world. Bang! Yin Junhao screamed. He, who was charging forward bravely, was beaten by Su Yan until he spat out blood. No matter how strong he was suppressed by Su Yan. Chapter 16:14. Yin Junhao's hair was disheveled, and his body was riddled with wounds. He was the strongest person in the Demon Extermination Alliance, and now he was beaten so badly by Su Yan that it was unbearable to look at. However, he did not despair. He let out a roar from hell that could devour one's bones and soul. I won't lose to you, young Devil King. I haven't lost yet. Su Yan's suppression did not shatter Yin Junhao's conviction. He let out an angry roar, and his entire flesh shell surged with black light. It was as if a phoenix that had fallen into hell had awoken. His supreme bloodline was burning, and the most terrifying aura of life was emitted. Boom! He suddenly stretched out his hand and pulled out a blacked-out diagram, attacking Su Yan. During this process, the Dao diagram swiftly enlarged, and it instantly formed the ninth hell purgatory. It was like a condensed hell was lying there, and it emanated the fluctuations of purgatory that covered the entire sky. It covered the entire space and enveloped Su Yan. Map of Hell. The Blazing Sparrow was shocked. Although this Dao diagram wasn't the real deal, it was still an extremely rare weapon of the underworld. There was not only one strongest treasure in hell, and the Map of Hell was one of them. Legend had it that this was the life treasure of the Lord of Hell. It had been floating in hell for a long time, and after being nourished by the yin qi of heaven and earth, it grew stronger day by day. It was hard to imagine how powerful it was. Although the Dao diagram that Yin Junhao took out was only a replica, it emitted the light of 3,000 gods and demons. It opened the nine hells purgatory, as if a reincarnation region that ruled the world was born. Bang, bang, bang. 3,000 demonic gods and devils appeared in the sky. Each of them extended a demonic god's hand that was covered in laws and rules to suppress Su Yan. The aura of purgatory of death rushed over, and even Su Yan's powerful body trembled as if it was about to collapse. He was shocked. This Tao diagram was indeed powerful and should be a grand heavenly level treasure. It covered the sky and covered the sun, cutting through space and time. In this purgatory of hell, all life auras were suppressed. The 3,000 gods and demons were like the hands of the death god that wanted to drag Su Yan to the yellow springs. Su Yan's eyes widened as he opened his heavenly eye in the darkness. Energy surged throughout his body as lightning flashed and thunder rumbled. The initial scripture also began to circulate, and he was like a god floating in hell. He swung his fists, one punch after another, at the hands of the 3,000 gods and devils. Kill! Su Yan roared, his blood boiling. Tyrannical rent. His speed was just too fast. In a short period of time, he had already unleashed over 10,000 fists. His aura was also boundlessly violent, as if he were a supreme god of war raising his fist and punching the heavens, wanting to destroy the purgatory of hell. Rumble! The dark purgatory shuddered violently as it was unable to contain Su Yan's terrifying life force. This was because not only was he recovering, but the Milky Way gourd was also suspended above Su Yan's head. From the gourd's mouth, a vast expanse of cosmic stars was spewing out. They revolved around the starry river and crashed into the map of hell. I'm the Lord of Hell. I shall suppress all enemies. Junhao screamed like a mad demon. His figure actually merged with the map of hell. His entire body bloomed with the light of purgatory as he gathered the power of the entire map of hell, crushing the stars in the sky. The pitch-black hand also followed closely behind, covering Su Yan. I am the king of the universe. I shall rule over all things in this world. Su Yan's reply made Junhao's lungs explode. His eyes were about to pop out of their sockets as he roared. Talk after you break it, young devil king. This is the map of hell. Although it is not the real thing, it contains the essence of the great Tao of hell. It is not so easy to break it. As you wish. Su Yan rose from the ground. It was as if the golden age of the universe had been reborn and the initial scripture was formed. With the order of the scripture, the universe was in chaos. The sun, moon, stars, flowers, birds, fishes, and insects all had the Milky Way gourd floating in it. In a short period of time, Su Yan's aura soared by a large margin. The entire purgatory became a little blurry. A terrifying figure loomed in the darkness. The Kuan Peng's heavenly power surged out from his flesh shell, breaking apart the darkness in an instant. The purgatory seemed to have exploded. A shocking figure with a flesh shell filled with Kuan Peng's heavenly power smashed the purgatory of hell into pieces. Even the hand that Junhao swung down was broken, and blood flowed all over the ground. Reconstruct for me. Junhao endured the pain of his broken arm. He used the strongest power of the map of hell to reconstruct the broken space of the purgatory. He wanted to seal Su Yan inside once again. Break for me. Su Yan let out a loud roar. The light of his Yuan spirit surged out from the top of his head. It was so powerful that it could swallow a bull. It directly smashed down on the entire dark sky. Kill! Su Yan's Yuan spirit blazed like a sun in mortal armor. His fist imprint was shocking. It was accompanied by the aura of the Mother Scripture. It crossed the river of time and space and broke through Junhao's sea of consciousness. How can your Yuan spirit be so strong? Junhao screamed in fear and pain. His psyche ocean was on the verge of collapsing, and the black Yuan shun in his body was flickering. After suffering such a terrifying strike, his Yuan shun cracked open one after another on his body. What is this? Junhao was in despair. He had caught the aura of the Mother Scripture. It was like the Sun Immortal Scripture was being recited in front of his Yuan spirit. Every syllable suppressed his yuan spirit. In the end, scripture runes filled the sky, suppressing his yuan spirit to the point that it was about to explode. One had to know that he had also cultivated the yuan spirit heavenly technique of the hell. It was also the strongest technique in the immortal heavenly domain. But now the outcome was cruel. His yuan spirit was suppressed. He even caught the aura of the mother scripture of heaven and earth. Could it be? Junhao was in disbelief. Suyin definitely didn't have such a powerful scripture in the past. Then, it was very likely that he had obtained the fortune of the Golden Sea region. Could it be that the mother scripture of heaven and earth was hidden in the sea region? Thinking of this, Junhao was about to go crazy. His eyes turned red. How many good things did Suyin obtain? The Kuan, Peng divine ability, and the mother scripture. These were great fortunes that even the immortal sex would fight for. But now, they had all fallen into the hands of Suyin. Suyin walked towards Junhao step by step. His steps were like the purgatory of the hell. B***starred. Junhao was furious. He couldn't escape. His yuan spirit was suppressed by Suyin. If he wanted to leave before, Suyin wouldn't have been able to stop him. However, Junhao's primordial spirit had been suppressed by Suyin, and his combat strength had fallen to its weakest point. Now, he would be lucky if he could survive, let alone escape. Just as Suyin raised his palm and was about to suppress Junhao, a powerful figure barged into the map of hell and arrived in front of Junhao with extreme speed. "Dao brother, save me." Junhao was ecstatic. Noticing Zhu Yanghua's arrival, he felt as though he had met his savior. Although Junhao had an invincible heart, saving his life was more important now. Zhu Yanghua's expression was cold and emotionless. He didn't respond to Junhao's words. His next move frightened Junhao. Zhu Yanghua was here, but he wasn't here to help him. Instead, he took out a huge cauldron and suppressed Junhao inside. Junhao was in a daze. He couldn't believe his own eyes. Because Zhu Yanghua suppressed him. Did he know what he was doing? If news of this got out, the underworld would probably tear the heavenly bamboo apart. Although the heavenly bamboo lineage used to be powerful, it was rumored that something had happened to their progenitor and that he might have perished. If that were the case, then the heavenly bamboo lineage could no longer be considered the strongest immortal sect. No one will know what happened in the map of hell. Moreover, even if the young devil king said that I suppressed you, how many people would believe him? Zhu Yanghua thought to himself. He took the cauldron and left the map of hell at lightning speed. "Get back here." Suyin was furious. Everything happened in a short period of time. He didn't expect Zhu Yanghua to suppress Junhao. This matter had overturned his thinking. Rumbling roars exploded. Ripples surged into the sky, destroying everything in its way as it rushed towards Zhu Yanghua. Boom! The entire space-time exploded. Suyin used the power of the 8 escape technique to lock down the space-time. He couldn't let Zhu Yanghua escape from him. Junhao was very important to him. He might be able to ask him about the reincarnation medicine. The map of hell is broken. Is Junhao defeated? I don't know. Zhu Yanghua escaped. His speed is so fast, the spectators in the distant sea were dumbfounded. They didn't see Junhao. Could it be that he was defeated by the young devil king? Now, Zhu Yanghua had escaped. His speed was getting faster and faster. Even his aura was getting more terrifying. What's that? Suyin was shocked. The power he used to rush towards Zhu Yanghua was being crushed layer by layer. With his powerful strange gate power, he could clearly see that there was a black bamboo growing inside Zhu Yanghua's body. It was bathed in the blood of the heavens and emitted the sound of ghosts crying and gods howling. It was even accompanied by the sound of worship. Was this the sky bamboo ancestor's item? How did it become like this? Very quickly, Suyin sensed it and his face turned pale. The black bamboo had many strong souls and obsessions. These are the strong practitioners that he had just killed. Without a doubt, this group of people was very strong. But Zhu Yanghua had extracted the souls and remnant thoughts from their corpses and used them to cultivate the sky bamboo ancestors' roots. Was it trying to evolve into some kind of demonic creature? One had to admit that this thing was very shocking. The black bamboo was only a foot tall, but it was like a demonic seed bathed in the blood of the heavens. Even the slightest bit of its aura was enough to cause gods and devils to howl and the heavens to weep blood. "Stop right there for me." Su Yin was enraged. He opened his mouth and spat out a beam of blood essence light. It rumbled as it shot towards Zhu Yanghua, wanting to stop him. However, the black bamboo within Zhu Yanghua's body was very powerful. With a slight tremble, its power was terrifying beyond compare. It shattered Su Yan's killing power. Hee, it's useless. Su Yan, just you wait. In the future, I will come and kill you. Zhu Yanghua's speed was very fast. He rapidly distanced himself from Su Yan. He was looking forward to Jun Hao's soul source strength. When the time came, the seed would evolve and become even stronger. He believed that in the future, he would be able to crush Su Yan. Su Yan's eyes widened in anger. He could not let him leave. He crossed the vast sea and chased after Zhu Yanghua. At this time, Su Yan saw a blood-soaked figure rapidly approaching from the distant sea. Su Yan shouted, "Stop him for me, quick!" Fan Jian was suddenly alerted. He immediately saw Zhu Yanghua. "Brat, stop right there for me." Fan Jian took out the tattered replica of the Sky Tyrant's sword and furiously slashed at Zhu Yanghua. This strike was extremely frightening. The surface of the sea was cut apart. The sword light that filled the sky was released. It was tyrannical as it rushed towards Zhu Yanghua. Author's note: the annual meeting has been going on for the past few days. Chapter 16:15. Zhu Senghua's face darkened. He never imagined that he would run into Fan Jian, the world's #1 sword. His fame spread far and wide. Currently, Fan Jian was riddled with wounds. But once he erupted with all his strength, a single sword slash would shatter his body. "I have to leave this place as soon as possible." Zhu Senghua's eyes bloomed with a cold light. His body began to change as he fused with the foot-tall black bamboo. Bang! A hair-raising aura spread out from Zhu Senghua's body. This was a surging blood light that was filled with the source of death and destruction. Fan Jian was amazed. He saw a chaos ancient demon rush out from the sea of blood. This was the current Zhu Senghua. His body emitted the sounds of worship, and all sorts of phenomena accompanied him. "Ah!" Zhu Senghua roared out loud. His entire being had changed. Blood light rushed into the heavens, turning the world dark red. The energy fluctuations were too intense. Spirits filled the skies as they chanted sutras. A terrifying aura spread out, causing the sea to tremble as if it would overturn everything. Bang! Fan Jian's Sky Tyrant sword was directly blocked. "What the hell is this?" Fan Jian was shocked. What sort of treasure had Zhu Senghua fused with? How could his aura become like this? It was savage and chaotic. The spirits that filled the skies seemed to come back to life. His aura was so vast that it was like a collapsing galaxy. "Kill!" Zhu Senghua soared into the skies. His entire body turned dark, as if he were a demon that had rushed out from purgatory. The strength of his casual strike filled space and time. The black bamboo gave him a heaven-defying strength that seemed to howl through the heavens and also shatter the heavens. "Sky Tyrant's sword art!" Fan Jian coldly shouted. His body that was riddled with scars began to shine. Then, he fused together with the tattered Sky Tyrant's sword replica and released the most tyrannical source of slaughter as he struck out at the dark light of destruction. This was a shocking scene. The sword light was like a sea, and the darkness was like an abyss as they attacked each other. This was a collision of the peak. No one thought that Zhu Senghua would be so strong. He was like a demon god that had fallen into purgatory that had come back to life. The dark light that filled the skies smashed into him. But at the same time, Fan Jian was not made of paper. It was impossible for Zhu Senghua to defeat him in a single exchange. "Why aren't you scramming? If you want to die, I'll fulfill your wish." The bamboo sunflower was furious. Bloody light overflowed from its entire body. The black bamboo that merged with it released terrifying fluctuations, collapsing the entire space-time. It was as if a great killing weapon was activated, making the vast sea region rise and fall violently. This was originally the root of the sky bamboo primogenitor, the most terrifying supreme treasure of a primogenitor. Now that it had turned into a demonic creature, its aura was frightening. Facing this aura, Fan Jian felt like he had fallen into purgatory. Looking down on me, I'm going to suppress you and see what the hell you are. Fan Jian was infuriated. Although he had been severely injured in the battle with the Tongtian young master, he still had his battle strength. How could he not be able to suppress Zhu Yanghua? Chi-Chi, the sky he gem and sword art, was operating at its peak state. His blood-stained body was steaming with thick sword light, and every sword light was exuding a peerless power. The sword radiance that filled the sky split the darkness apart. His powerful aura could be seen at a glance. This was the sword sect's strongest heavenly technique, the sky he gem and sword art. It was also greatly related to the sword sect's strongest supreme treasure, the sky he gem and sword art. Ever since Fan Jian stepped into the true immortal realm, coupled with his sword body technique, the sky he gem and sword art's damage to his body was already very low. He could use this terrifying killing technique for a long time. In the peak state of the sky he gem and sword art, a blurry sword body appeared behind Fan Jian. It was as grand as the heavens, and it was so domineering that it seemed to split open the 9 underworlds of reincarnation. Just like that, it descended from the heavens and chopped down on the black bamboo. Boom! A deafening explosion rang out. The entire sea region shook, and a large crack appeared in the golden starry sky. But what was unbelievable was that this shocking killing move was completely blocked by the black bamboo. As the foot-long black bamboo fell down, the phenomenon of the heavens weeping blood seemed to swallow the universe, surging with an unimaginable divine might. How is this possible? Fan Jian's hair stood on end. What the hell was this? The powerful sky he gem and sword art stood on top of the bamboo, but it was unable to split it. One had to know that the sky he gem and sword art's offensive power was unparalleled and was not inferior to the supreme sage technique. Could it be that the sky bamboo's aspect seed was so heaven-defying? It was like a natural ability that could stir the universe, and the dark holy light filled the sky. Zhu Yanghua did not want to fight with Fan Jian at all. He blocked his killing move and retreated quickly, but he was still a step too late. Su Yin had already arrived. He's here. The world was filled with exclamations as they saw a soul-stirring scene. Su Yin had arrived along the way. His body traversed the void, and he suddenly turned into a Koan Peng, flowing with an unparalleled divine power and aura. Bam! The dark space in the sky was blasted apart, and the bloody vision was collapsing. Kill! Su Yin roared, and his palm formed a fist seal. The beginning sutra bloomed, and the universe fist erupted. Together with the power of beginning, it suppressed the vision in the sky. This punch was unparalleled. It broke through the dark world and smashed towards Zhu Yanghua's body. Young Devil King. Zhu Yanghua's face was gloomy. The expert who came was too wild, and he had destroyed the vision of the 1-foot-long black bamboo. The Kuan Peng's power suppressed the black bamboo, and this great divine power temporarily suppressed it. Su Yin finally arrived. With a punch, all directions trembled. The sea that continued to tremble collapsed, and large cracks appeared one after another, forming a huge rift valley in the sea. This Devil King, the people in the distant world were shocked. What kind of aura was this? It was like an invincible, true immortal was howling, and the terrifying pressure was suffocating them. Revive for me! Zhu Yanghua roared, and the black bamboo shook violently. Visions appeared, transmitting the voices of the gods and devils in the sky. All kinds of mysterious power surged, and it tore apart the layers of Kuan Peng's power. It was about to kill its way out to stop Su Yin. However, Fan Jian instantly attacked, and once again used the sky-dominating sword art to suppress the black bamboo. The next scene was too horrible to look at. Zhu Yanghua waved his hand to block Su Yan's fist, but his arm was shattered by Su Yan's fist. His whole body was trembling, and large amounts of blood spurted out of his pores. What is this black bamboo? Fan Jian was shocked. Zhu Yanghua's combat strength was naturally not enough to enter the ranks of the strongest. However, the black bamboo that he controlled was too strong. The Kuan Peng's heavenly power could not suppress it in a short period of time. If the black bamboo was allowed to grow, it would evolve into something very strange in the future. Zhu Yanghua, you can't escape. Su Yan's expression was cold. He walked with majestic steps and once again attacked Zhu Yanghua. The Kuan Peng's heavenly power that he released suppressed this small world. The Kuan Peng's power attacked Zhu Yanghua, causing his blood-stained body to crack. His whole body was about to explode under Su Yan's feet. At the same time, the space-time secret treasure that he had stored in his body was also shaken out. It was a space-time cauldron, and Yin Junhao was sealed inside. At this moment, Yin Junhao felt despair and shame. It was bad enough that he was suppressed and taken away by Zhu Yanghua, but now he had fallen into Su Yan's hands again. However, Yin Junhao really hoped that Su Yan would kill this treacherous Zhu Yanghua. He had infiltrated the Demon Extermination Alliance with evil intentions. He had hidden too deeply. Young Demon King, you didn't leave me any leeway. I won't let you off in the future. Zhu Yanghua roared. His body was broken, and his injuries were serious. However, he looked fierce and fearless. He wanted to snatch it again. Take Yin Junhao's corpse. Su Yan's expression was cold. You can't escape. The sky bamboo's roots don't belong to you. Then try it. Zhu Yanghua's eyes were cold. He moved the black bamboo, and the strange bamboo shone with an unparalleled aura. Accompanied by the rain of time, a huge demonic figure appeared. It was like an invincible giant that crossed the river of time and space. Step by step, it gradually became a supreme expert that looked down on the world. Supreme Dharma Idol, Fan Jian was sent flying. He growled, "Be careful, big brother. This black bamboo has been refined by a giant." Before he could finish, the black bamboo had already charged at Su Yan. It was as if a giant prime had thrown out a great killing weapon, descending from the sky to kill Su Yan. Not good. Su Yan's expression changed. He took out the Daluo cauldron and smashed it at the black bamboo. The result made Su Yan's heart ache. The Daluo cauldron was directly destroyed. This treasure couldn't withstand the power of the black bamboo. It was equivalent to a supreme weapon and was extremely powerful. It knocked the Daluo cauldron aside and once again charged at Su Yan. Bastard, how dare you break my weapon? Su Yan was enraged. He took out the 9 provinces heaven cauldron. Although it was difficult to revive this item, Su Yan could use it as a weapon. He swung it and smashed it at the black bamboo. Bang! With a loud explosion, the terrifying black bamboo's radiance dimmed as it was struck by the 9 provinces heaven cauldron. But Su Yan wasn't much better off. He staggered backwards, blood seeping out from the corners of his mouth. The web between his thumb and forefinger had cracked open. Layers upon layers of counterforce shook Su Yan's blood and energy, making it difficult for him to remain standing. Su Yan's palm was a bloody mess. He fiercely raised the 9 provinces heaven cauldron again and smashed it at the black bamboo. It was unknown how the strange black bamboo had evolved to this level. It shined, and the heavens wept with blood. It flew back like a bolt of lightning, drilling into Zhu Yanghua's body. The latter didn't dare to hesitate. He immediately fled. You can't escape. Zhu Yanghua, your death has come. Su Yan used the 9 provinces heaven cauldron as a weapon and chased after Zhu Yanghua with surging killing intent. The ancient cauldron was terrifyingly powerful. It didn't have any energy fluctuations, but it possessed an indescribable divine might that could obliterate the black bamboo's strange abilities. Zhu Yanghua's eyes flashed with a sinister light. He flicked his sleeves, and a bamboo leaf flew out. The ancient bamboo leaf shined. It was as if a sea of stars was falling down from the heavens. Moreover, it rapidly enlarged, terrifying to the point where it covered the heavens. This was a bamboo leaf that fell from the sky bamboo primogenitor's body. Its value was unimaginable. Once it was used, it was the same as the primogenitor's hand pressing down. Who could contend against it? What is that? Countless cultivators were panic-stricken. The crowd of heroes trembled. Would they sink down with the bamboo leaf or die prematurely? Many people cried out in fear. Their bodies felt as if they would explode. This bamboo leaf was too frightening. It fell from the heavens as if it wanted to destroy everything. Moreover, it covered the boundless sea region. All of this happened in an extremely short period of time. Su Yin didn't panic. He strove to grasp the 9 provinces heaven cauldron. He was prepared to activate the sect's supreme treasure. Bang! All of a sudden, the ends of the world seemed to have exploded. A snow-white, jade-like hand appeared. It looked small and exquisite, and the jade fingers were sparkling and translucent. In fact, it was extremely terrifying. It directly swept across. It was so terrifying that the heavens seemed to have cracked open. Su Yin was shocked. The snow-white, jade-like hand seemed to have reached out from beyond the heavens. It covered the sky as if the entire golden treasure trove was under its palm. He was shocked. He was shocked. What level of expert was this? Guardian of the Emperor Road? Fan Jian cried out in horror. Chapter 16:16. It was as if a supreme expert had made a move. A palm reached down, causing the heaven and earth to rumble. The entire golden ocean began to tremble. Boom! Millions and millions of waves were raised on the surface of the ocean. The entire ocean seemed to have been split open. The layout began to rotate involuntarily, as if it had turned into a giant golden vortex. A world-shaking aura pervaded the air as if it was going to destroy the world. There were many experts in the Golden Ocean region. The number of young overlords was innumerable. At this moment, everyone felt a chill from head to toe. They didn't know what was going on, but a mysterious aura was blotting out the sky and pressing down on them. It caused them to tremble and lose control of their legs. They wanted to kneel down and kowtow. Who is this? Or is it some kind of weapon? Has the battle with the young demon king come to an end? The odd heaven's Saint Sun was terrified. The imperial sky Tao diagram was suspended above his head, isolating the suppression of the aura. However, there was also energy that wanted to penetrate through, causing the odd heaven's Saint Sun to stagger. He turned pale with fright, but at the same time, his emotions were surging. The layout of the Golden Ocean region began to rotate under this pressure. The imperial sky Tao diagram once again deduced an even more accurate location. The eye of the ocean is in front, the place where fortunes converge. The odd heaven Saint Sun was ecstatic. Through the imperial sky Tao diagram, his gaze locked onto the ocean ahead. It was as if the eye of the ocean that had existed for millions and millions of years was flowing with golden radiance. Under the rotation of the layout, the eye of the ocean shook violently as if it was going to fly out. The fortunes are indeed mine. I wonder if the young demon king has been killed. Otherwise, good things come in pairs. The odd heaven Saint Sun rapidly approached the golden eye of the ocean. Now, the disturbance in the ocean region was great. The heavens and earth were shaking, and the 9 suns were about to fall. The layout of the entire golden treasure ground was shaken. Big brother, let's go. Fan Jian had a bad feeling. The Emperor Road had its own laws. Although the Golden Ocean region didn't have the laws and order of the Emperor Road, the aura clearly came from the outside world. Could it be that something big had happened in the Emperor Road? Could it be that the Emperor Road had been breached? What the hell? Su Yin was astonished. All the hair on his body stood on end. What kind of expert was this? Was the supreme god sleeping above the eternal heavenly sun resurrected? However, this palm looked extremely delicate. It was clearly a woman's palm. It directly pressed down and suppressed the bamboo leaves. Su Yin was extremely surprised. Was the other party here to fight for the bamboo leaves? However, the bamboo leaf on the sky bamboo progenitor's body didn't show any signs of power. It fell into the snow-white hand's palm and quickly returned to silence. What was going on? In short, the crisis had been resolved. This palm strike didn't emit any killing intent. Otherwise, who knew how many cultivators would have died in the Golden Sea region? Su Yin tried his best to widen his heavenly eye. He looked at the outside world through the large crack opened by the snow-white hand. Massive space-time cracks appeared one after another, clearly pierced through by a formidable strength. It was unknown just how far they extended. Su Yin could faintly make out the blurry figure of a blue-clothed woman at the end. She was the one overlooking the golden treasure trove. Just how special was this woman? Would he be able to travel unimpeded in Emperor Road? Could it be that she was not bound by the rules and order? Su Yan's face turned pale. He suddenly thought of Dao Shuyi, a mysterious woman. He didn't know what level she was at. In short, she didn't appear in the Emperor ranking competition. This woman was relatively special. Now, Su Yan caught a glimpse of a blue-clothed woman. Although the image was a little blurry and mysterious, Su Yan could still feel the divine might that could swallow the river of time. It was difficult to describe how powerful she was. Who is she? Su Yan muttered to himself. He could clearly feel that she was standing in a distant world and looking at him. In her misty eyes, the river of stars was illusory. It was like an ancient, dilapidated universe. It was captivating. Under her gaze, Su Yan felt that his entire person was exposed. He's a little familiar. Strange, she whispered softly. She felt that she had seen him somewhere before. The blue-clothed woman was extremely charming. Her aura suppressed the universe. Her clothes fluttered in the wind. He didn't know where she was standing. In short, she had never made a second move. Emperor Road had its own rules. Although she could break them, she didn't want to. This was because the person who created Emperor Road was someone she respected and admired. She wouldn't break the rules and order of Emperor Road again. Above the golden ocean, the space-time cracks disappeared. The world returned to peace. Big brother, who was that? Fan Jian felt that there was something fishy going on. He said, could it be a powerhouse from the Celestial Court? Or a protector of Emperor Road? He guessed so, because Emperor Road was created by the Celestial Court. Although it was a legend, many immortal sects believed it to be true. In short, to break the rules of Emperor Road, even the Sword Sect's founding ancestor couldn't do it. Fan Jian guessed that it must be a protector of Emperor Road. Su Yan frowned. He didn't think so. They had already broken the rules of Emperor Road by trying to steal the ancient Kuanping's corpse. After all, the 9 continents' heavenly cauldrons were also bound by Emperor Road's rules. However, when they activated the power of the 9 continents' heavenly cauldrons, no protector of Emperor Road appeared. Moreover, the Golden Ocean region was not bound by rules. She's fighting for the bamboo leaf? Su Yan scratched his head. Could this person be related to Heavenly Bamboo's founding ancestor? Unfortunately, Zhu Songhua had taken advantage of the change and escaped. Of course, even without the change, Zhu Songhua, who had the Heavenly Bamboo's founding ancestor's bamboo leaf, was not easy to suppress. Founding ancestor. The founding ancestor has turned into a demon. Su Yan frowned. Zhu Songhua relied on the founding ancestor's root to continuously absorb the corpse qi of fallen powerhouses. With the help of the heretical path, Zhu Songhua's improvement in a short period of time would be shocking. Unfortunately, she had already escaped. Su Yan felt regretful. Let's go. Su Yan did not hesitate and quickly returned to the battlefield. Although he had suppressed Yin Juanhao and scared Zhu Songhua away, the battle was not over yet. There were still many Saint Sun-level powerhouses on the battlefield. The young Devil King had left. This caused the battlefield to erupt into an even more intense battle. Everyone was fighting with their lives on the line, causing the entire sea region to tremble. Bloody light surged and dyed half the sky red. Kill! Before Su Yan arrived, a loud roar resounded between heaven and earth, scattering the bloody light in the sky. The enemies trembled. A large number of experts were alarmed. A terrifying, murderous roar shook them until their chi and blood trembled chaotically. Even their flesh shells were about to collapse. They were overwhelmed with shock. What kind of power was this? It could shock heaven and earth and make ghosts and gods weep. Su Yan of the true immortal realm was going to be invincible. It's the Devil King. He's back. A group of Saint Sun-level powerhouses were shocked. Could it be that Zhu Songhua had died? Su Yan's return was too fast. The entire battlefield collapsed under his divine might. That person's divine might was earth-shattering. His killing intent soared into the sky, peerlessly sharp, and he was overlooking the entire battlefield. Boom! There was nothing to say. Suyin came up and punched. The shattered battlefield shook violently. Waves of terrifying aura surged, as if a prehistoric monster was awakening. The Kuan Peng's great ability exploded. As usual, it looked down with disdain. Along the way, the heavens collapsed and the earth cracked. Ghosts cried and gods howled. Blood splattered everywhere. The scene was too horrible to look at. One by one, the bodies of the true immortals were destroyed. Before the Kuan Peng arrived, they were already in despair. They could not stop Su Yan at all. Boom! A large number of powerhouses' bodies exploded, killed by Su Yan's punch. A large patch of bloody light rippled in the void. Is this Devil King really going to kill all the powerhouses of the Devil Extermination Alliance? These people have great backgrounds. They all have powerful orthodoxies or top families behind them. However, the Devil King did not even ask and directly killed his way over. What's there to say? The struggle for the Emperor's path is a matter of life and death. The young Supremes have all killed their way to the top by stepping on the corpses of their enemies. The spectators in the distance were shocked. The battle was still going on, but the battle was one-sided. Su Yan had arrived. With his current prestige, it was like a thunderbolt suppressing the enemy and intimidating them. Su Yan's battle robes were stained with blood. A terrifying aura was constantly emitted, suppressing the entire battlefield. What was a descendant of a great sect? No matter how shocking his methods were, Su Yan's battle prowess was tyrannical. His fist imprints were matchless, killing one person with each punch. Su Yan's hair danced in the wind. His eyes were like knives that killed people. The enemies were terrified and fled in large numbers. Who dares to fight with me? Su Yan let out a long roar. Tens of thousands of sword lights gushed out from all the pores on his body. It was like a river of stars rushing forward. Pooh! Several true, immortal experts who were fleeing collapsed. The sword's edge was exceptionally sharp. The true immortal bodies were cut apart in a single exchange. Young Devil King, don't act recklessly. If you kill us all, can your celestial court withstand the fury of our clans? The fleeing cultivators were terrified. They brought out the last straw in their hearts to suppress the killing intent in Su Yan's heart. However, these words were too laughable for Su Yan. His hair danced in the wind, and the aura he emitted became increasingly cold. A world-shocking abnormal scene was born. This was the birth of a mountain of corpses and a sea of blood. He stretched between heaven and earth, turning into an unrivaled emperor. He stood on the bones of kings and overlooked all living things. Dong! Su Yan erupted with power once again. He brandished his fists and slaughtered his way towards the fleeing enemies. Feel free to use whatever methods you have. Su Yan, will accept them all. In the end, Su Yan let out an angry roar. This sea region exploded, becoming riddled with holes. Bloody light overflowed into the sky. The fleeing experts cried out in alarm. Now, they didn't even have the qualifications to flee. This group of people simply couldn't survive. Su Yan didn't plan to let any of them go. Blood splattered all over the sky, and the entire starry sky was tainted by the bloody light. The scene was too savage. In the world filled with the smell of blood, the entire battlefield had been destroyed. Aside from Zhu Yonghua, who had escaped, everyone else had been executed. Su Yan strode through the battlefield. His divine eyes were like lightning, searching for any surviving experts. Once discovered, they would all be killed. Su Yan's aura became more and more shocking. A terrifying figure appeared above the blood-stained sea region. This was the Overlord that looked down on the world. It shook the heavens and the earth as its divine might swept across the vast sea region. Where did the Skirich young master go? Following which, a bone-chilling light flashed from the depths of Su Yan's eyes. He wanted to gather his brothers and kill the Skirich young master. Su Yan had gained too much from his trip to the Golden Oceanic region. He now possessed super powerful combat strength in the true immortal realm. He also wanted to use this opportunity to eliminate some of his biggest enemies. This is crazy. It seems like he hasn't killed enough. So many people have died. Could it be that he's going to destroy the Emperor Road and end it early? That's a bit too much of a joke. Some people were speechless. The Demon Extermination Alliance had caused a huge commotion. However, some invincible supreme overlords didn't even bother to get involved. Having the Skirich young master was enough. The young Devil King is getting stronger the more he fights. If he continues to fight like this, he'll definitely reach his strongest state in the future. The onlookers in the distance discussed. Was he going to be invincible? He had cultivated a state of mind that was truly invincible in the world. He could fight any strong enemy. This was the belief that only supreme overlords on the Emperor ranking would have. Yesterday, I sat in front of the computer for a long time after returning home. I was in a daze and didn't have the energy to write anymore, so I went to sleep. Haha, I only updated one chapter yesterday. It's a bit embarrassing. I've been writing for 5 or 6 years, and this is the first time I've updated. I'm ashamed. I'll make up for it today. Chapter 16-17. A large silver ship left the blood-stained sea region. The sea region within 1,000,000 miles was shattered, and the world seemed to be wailing and trembling. They're all dead. Countless people trembled and felt their scalps go numb. This battle had come to an end, and the Demon Extermination Alliance had been completely destroyed. The world seemed to have seen a supreme star slowly rising above the ocean. This battle had shaken the entire world. The top 100 competition had not started, but the bloody battle here would shake the entire undying sky domain. Hundreds of top experts involved dozens of immortal sections. How could it not cause a storm? In short, this battle had caused the world to lose its color, and the sun and moon lost their light. This also indicated the rise of a young supreme being who looked down on the Emperor's road. The large silver ship drifted on the sea. Su Yin and the others sat cross-legged on the ship, nursing their injuries. They had suffered heavy losses in this battle. De Li and the others had almost died in battle, and their injuries were quite serious. Fortunately, they still had a large amount of immortal body fluid. They could not care less about their losses now, as there was a big battle waiting for them. According to Fan Jian, the Tongtian young master and the Grand Sainess had received news that the Demon Extermination Alliance was missing one person. Where was the mysterious Sky Saint? He had attracted attention, and perhaps he had found the location of the fortune. At present, no one knew what fortune was hidden in the Golden Waters. Only Su Yin, who had obtained the Sun Mother Sutra, knew the importance of the Golden Waters. A supreme immortal was sleeping in the sky, and an incomprehensible battle was taking place. Then, there must be something hidden under the Golden Waters. Perhaps some orthodoxies and inheritances were preserved. Su Yin guessed that the Baokai should be under the Golden Waters. When Su Yin saw the layout with the heaven-opening brush, he had already locked onto the location of the Golden Vortex. Therefore, the large silver ship was now approaching the vortex. However, the destination was a little far, and they could not reach the source in a short time. Boom! 2 days later, the qi and blood within Su Yan's body were boiling. His flesh shell was blazing, and his precious body could be said to be terrifying. The moment the golden primordial spirit between his brows and his flesh body merged, his body emitted an immeasurable divine light that illuminated the heaven and earth. It was a shocking manifestation. Su Yan's primordial spirit had reached the peak of the true immortal realm, and he had not properly sorted out his power. After 2 days of cultivation, Su Yan had fully recovered and stood at his peak. Roar, his powerful body, and dragon roars that shook one's soul. Su Yan's physical body became even more dazzling. It was as if he had transformed into a celestial body of the sun. It was extremely intimidating. The invisible yang qi that was rising from his body covered the sky and covered the earth, burning the entire world until it was overflowing with gold. Big brother, what did you get? Fan Jian was astounded. Su Yan's soul core's growth was too shocking. It would be at the golden immortal realm if it took another step forward. At that time, it would be boundlessly terrifying and shocking. Do you want to inform the Flame Emperor organization to find you a 6 revolutions life soul pill? Yin-Ke was serious. Su Yan's primordial spirit was extraordinary. Once he entered the grand immortal realm, who could compete with him in the Emperor Road? Su Yan opened his eyes and shook his head. How can the grand immortal realm be so easy to break through? My primordial spirit is powerful now, but I don't know much about the grand immortal realm. Even if I rely on pills to break through, the growth of my primordial spirit is limited. This realm is endless. Fan Jian said, I've read many books in the Sword Sect, and there were once heaven-defying figures that directly ascended to the golden immortal realm not long after they broke through into the golden immortal realm. They can be said to be supreme experts that are undying and indestructible. However, such figures are extremely rare, and they're extremely numerous. Yi Yuan and the others were astounded. The golden immortal realm was too formidable. This was a realm of legend, and there were people in the past that had cultivated it. But to attain the golden immortal realm after just a few tens of years after stepping foot into the golden immortal realm was rather unbelievable. Not to mention the grand immortal realm. Even the grand immortal realm might not be able to break through in the Emperor rankings top 100. It's already amazing that half of them can do it. Tensor was looking forward to it. The scripture he obtained was the infinite scripture. The grand immortal realm was the strongest era. It was immeasurable. Su Yan kept his aura. He felt that he was about to enter the 6th heaven of the true immortal realm. His progress was really fast. Su Yan's eyes were like lightning. He did not tell them about the eternal heavenly sun's experience. It was too big a matter and involved the strongest battle in the universe. He even suspected that it was related to the ultimate land, the Emperor Road's ultimate land. Su Yan had been looking forward to it for a long time. Only the top 100 of the Emperor ranking were qualified to enter it. The Emperor Road's ultimate land should be soon, right? Su Yan's emotions were complicated. He thought of himself. Could he find the answer in the ultimate land? In short, Su Yan felt that he was getting closer to his goal. Soon, once the top 100 battle ended, the battle for the ultimate land would begin. At this moment, Su Yan took out the cauldron of time and space. Yin Junhao was suppressed in it and was half dead with serious injuries. Young Devil King. Yin Junhao was furious. He was suppressed, but Su Yan did not seem to have any intention of killing him. What was he trying to do? What are you screaming for? Su Yan said coldly, You're now a prisoner. Cooperate, and you can live for a few more days. Ha ha! Yin Junhao screamed. Young Devil King, do you think I'm a spineless coward? You can kill me or torture me as you wish. Let me tell you, the underworld also has the strongest cultivators and the strongest battle physiques. It's impossible for you to be invincible in the future. The era of the Celestial Court has ended. No matter how strong you are, even if you can kill your way out of the Emperor Road, you will still have to face the cruel suppression of the primogenitor realm cultivators in the future. Just kill him. Why are you wasting your breath on him? Yin-Ke's voice was cold. Yin Junhao said sarcastically, Hee, the Flame Emperor organization has super wanted criminals, but they don't have any primogenitor realm cultivators. They are the invincible giants that look down on the world. You are just ants in their eyes. Yin-Ke's eyes were cold as he raised his hand to kill Yin Junhao. Su Yan raised his hand to stop him and said calmly, Why are you looking for trouble when you're already like this? Yin Junhao, you are the son of the sect master of the underworld and have the bloodline of the sect master. Why didn't the underworld give you the elixir of reincarnation? You're too weak. Hearing this, Yin Junhao was stunned and was about to refute. His expression was uncertain. How could the young Devil King know about the elixir of reincarnation? He had a bad feeling and said coldly, Elixir of reincarnation is an ultimate treasure. Even if you give it to me, I can't refine it. Moreover, how would I know if the underworld has the elixir of reincarnation? Boom! Su Yan raised his large hand and smashed Yin Junhao's chest. In an instant, a terrifying aura surged and black runes filled the sky. This was the aura of reincarnation that was so grand that it covered the sky and covered the sun. In a short period of time, the aura engulfed the entire silver ship. Its influence was too great. Yen Kei and the others were shocked. Under the influence of the elixir of reincarnation, they felt like they had fallen into the cycle of reincarnation. The elixir of reincarnation's origin. Miserly Rooster screamed uncontrollably. He saw Su Yin take out a black elixir of reincarnation from In Junhao's chest. The black elixir of reincarnation was extremely terrifying, as if it was evolving into the 6 paths of reincarnation. In Junhao was about to go crazy. The elixir of reincarnation's origin was about to merge with his body. Logically speaking, Su Yin shouldn't be able to detect the elixir of reincarnation. But how'd he do it? What are you pretending for? If you have it, then you have it. If you don't, then you don't. Su Yin said coldly. In Junhao, speak honestly, or you won't be able to pass this test. Young Devil King. In Junhao was enraged. His face was ashen as he roared. Don't even think about it. You can get whatever you want from my mouth. Don't even think about it. The elixir of reincarnation was too terrifying. If this matter was spread out, it would cause a huge commotion. Even primal ancestor experts wouldn't be able to sit still and take action. Not to mention, this was the legendary elixir of reincarnation. To some of the old giants, the temptation was too great. Who would be able to sit still? Su Yin looked coldly at In Junhao and smiled. If I'm not wrong, this elixir of reincarnation's origin should be the essence of your reincarnation elixir. I've seen the elixir of reincarnation before, and it's obvious that this elixir of reincarnation is not complete. This means that your reincarnation elixir of reincarnation is not fully mature yet. Then, it's very close to maturity. How can you guess the elixir of reincarnation? Don't try to trick me, In Junhao said coldly. Su Yin, you've refined the elixir of reincarnation. Flame Sparrow suddenly said. The elixir of reincarnation is quite shocking. Maybe you can use the elixir of reincarnation to determine whether reincarnation elixir of reincarnation exists in Underworld. Don't even think about it. This elixir of reincarnation elixir is not something you can refine. In Junhao sneered. Even I can't do it now. Otherwise, you would be a corpse at my feet right now. At this point, In Junhao was extremely angry. He felt that he was unlucky. Otherwise, he wouldn't have been the one to lose this time. In this world, what substance could surpass the elixir of reincarnation? It was a pity that In Junhao couldn't completely refine the elixir of reincarnation with his current cultivation. Otherwise, Su Yin wouldn't have benefited from it. Buzz. Su Yin directly sent the elixir of reincarnation into his chest. Aren't you afraid of exploding? In Junhao laughed, and his eyes became colder. At this moment, Su Yan's chest felt like it was about to explode. It was filled with terrifying fluctuations and vast reincarnation elixir of reincarnation elixir. Boom! Su Yan's body trembled violently. The qi and blood in his body were in turmoil. Blood flowed out from the corner of his mouth. The terrifying reincarnation elixir in his chest was about to tear apart Su Yan's flesh shell and destroy his primordial spirit. Su Yin, Yi Yuan, and the others were shocked. It was just an elixir of reincarnation elixir. Why was it so perverse? It was unbearable. This is an elixir of reincarnation elixir, Fan Jian said in shock. Moreover, the elixir of reincarnation is extremely special. Even if it is an immature elixir of reincarnation elixir, it can't be easily refined. Yuan gasped. If it was an immature elixir of reincarnation elixir, it would be incredible. Haha. In Junhao was laughing loudly. He felt very happy and said, You can't take it anymore? I thought you would die. You haven't mastered the strongest Tao of reincarnation, and the elixir of reincarnation is one of the most special elixirs in the world. I didn't expect you to really eat it. You are really courting death. Su Yin was indeed in a terrible state. His body trembled violently, and the qi and blood in his body surged. His body was about to be torn apart by the reincarnation elixir. Swallow. Suddenly, Su Yin let out a low roar. His flesh shell looked a little ancient, and his chest was blazing. It vaguely released a supreme aura and the power of the 6 paths of reincarnation. His chest was too blazing. The innate divine ability of his flesh shell bloomed and turned into a small reincarnation elixir. Suddenly, it swallowed the reincarnation elixir of reincarnation elixir. In an instant, the small reincarnation elixir enlarged rapidly. It was ancient and solemn. It was like the reincarnation Daozu that presided over the reincarnation elixir of reincarnation elixir. It had boundless, terrifying fluctuations of time that filled the world. It was like a giant that had existed since ancient times. It was crossing the river of time and heading to this era. This is impossible. Yin Junhao's scalp was about to explode. He was terrified. This was the legendary seal of reincarnation. Could the young demon king be the reincarnation of a supreme expert of the celestial court? Chapter 16:18. The silver ship sailed on the ocean. The ship was not calm. The light of reincarnation bloomed, and a strong life force was emitted. The essence of the ultimate treasure medicine was quite ridiculous and abnormal. Originally, Yin Junhao thought that Su Yin wanted to use the reincarnation medicine to nourish his body. He knew the special nature of the reincarnation medicine. During the nourishment process, one could die. Without a strong cultivation base, it would be difficult to suppress the essence of the reincarnation medicine. Otherwise, Yin Junhao would have swallowed it and refined it. How could he let Su Yin have it so easily? However, the current situation was beyond his expectations. Su Yin did not intend to nourish his body with the essence of the reincarnation medicine. Instead, he let his body produce a natural mystique to devour and refine it. A natural mystique, as the name suggested, was a kind of inheritance. It could also be said that it was formed by one's body. This was a secret technique that belonged to Su Yin. As it was nurtured by one's body, it would change and become more suitable for one's body. Now, the reincarnation figure in Su Yan's chest was shining brightly. It was like a majestic Tao, sovereign, opening the reincarnation heavens. Roar! The figure roared as if it had really been resurrected. Its huge figure filled the entire space and time. It bloomed with the light of reincarnation and tore the sky apart. An extremely frightening scene appeared. In a huge crack in the sky, an ancient and huge tunnel suddenly appeared. It was like the legendary reincarnation path that connected the past, present, and future. Unfortunately, it was too blurry and could not be seen clearly. It was like a huge crack in another space and time that was going to lead to the Emperor Road. Reincarnation Seal. This is the legendary reincarnation seal. Yin Junhao's face was full of disbelief. He had seen records of the reincarnation seal in the ancient books of the underworld. It was said that it was something that would not appear. Although the underworld had mastered the great Tao of reincarnation, they did not believe that a fallen person could be reborn. Legends said that once a person was reborn, the body would give birth to a reincarnation seal. Then, could Su Yin be a living example? Could he be a reincarnated person? Otherwise, how could he explain the reincarnation seal in his body? Reincarnation seal. The flame sparrow was bewildered. This was just a legend. Could the glowing little person in Su Yan's chest really be the seal of samsara? In short, this little person was extremely special. It possessed a type of ancient heavenly might, and it truly was like a reincarnated deity. It flowed with waves of reincarnation light, and large amounts of symbols appeared. They were like innate, primitive reincarnation symbols. A stream of reincarnation origin energy was of great help to Su Yin in evolving his innate ability. Gradually, Su Yin entered a state of enlightenment. His precious body bloomed with radiance, emitting the light of reincarnation amidst the holiness. In particular, the little person sitting cross-legged on Su Yan's chest was constantly deducing the great Tao of reincarnation. Moreover, The aura that emerged enveloped Su Yan's entire body. It was a very special transformation. The reincarnated figure resonated with Su Yan's flesh shell, causing his entire flesh shell to become sparkling and translucent. It possessed the aura of reincarnation, as if it was a type of supreme battle constitution. The reincarnation precious body was reborn. In Junhao's expression was unsettled. Just what was Su Yan's background? Following that, In Junhao let out a blood-curdling scream as his head buzzed from the beating. Miser Rooster waved his claws and hit In Junhao's head, shouting, "Tell me, does the underworld have the ultimate treasure medicine, reincarnation medicine? Where is it?" This was a huge matter. Yuan knew very well that the prehistoric Big Brother had relied on the half-finished reincarnation medicine to recover his terrifying strength. They could not confirm whether the prehistoric Big Brother had truly recovered. Therefore, they were very excited when they heard the news of reincarnation medicine. They had to find out if the underworld had reincarnation medicine. Reincarnation medicine. This was very important. Once the Big Brother recovered, the Celestial Court would have a primogenitor overseeing it. This was the greatest hope of the Celestial Court's rise. Although Su Yin was powerful, he was too insignificant compared to the primogenitor. Su Yin longed for his big brother to return and recover. Bastard! In Junhao was furious. He did not expect to fall into such a situation. He could not give in. This was not only because of the underworld, but also because of his own dignity. We had to find out. Flame Sparrow's face was serious. The underworld was vast and had primogenitor overseeing it. Searching for the reincarnation medicine in the underworld? It was impossible. If they could find out about the reincarnation medicine, it would be easier to investigate. Although it was impossible for them or the current strength of the Flame Emperor organization to snatch away the reincarnation elixir, they couldn't just watch as the Lord of Hell swallowed the reincarnation elixir and increased his combat strength. The Lord of the Underworld had lived for a long time. Although the lifespan of a person like him was almost eternal, it was impossible for him to stand at the peak after such a long time. However, the ultimate treasure medicine was different. It was a heaven-defying item. It could easily take tens of millions of years or even longer to grow. The silver ship crossed the sea and approached the source of the medicine. Su Yin should be in seclusion for a few days. We have to hurry and prepare. The Top Hunter competition was about to begin. However, there was no sign of Bao Kai. Yuan and the others were worried. If they could not find Bao Cai's trace, they would have to return. Although the Golden Oceanic region had a shocking creation, the second stage of the Emperor Road also had many great creations unearthed in various regions. It attracted the attention of many. Similarly, a cruel competition broke out and led to large-scale bloodshed. Boom! At this moment, Yuan's aura surged out and skyrocketed. He was breaking through to the fourth heaven of the true immortal realm. De Li and the others had gained a lot from this life and death battle. In the next few days, they would continue to break through. Of course, the effect of the immortal body fluid was too great. Every time they broke through a small realm in the true immortal realm, they would gain a lot. Currently, the Flame Emperor organization was searching for the various resources needed for the Rank 8 immortal body fluid. In short, they were close to gathering them. Needless to say, Su Yin and the others were the biggest winners from this trip to the Golden Oceanic region. They could rely on the immortal body fluid to break through to the peak of the true immortal realm in a few years. If this news were to spread, it would shock everyone. Although some prosperous immortal sects were qualified to fight for these resources for their disciples, it was impossible for them to provide such top-notch resources to so many people. You have all broken through. Fan Jian felt that he was getting closer to the fifth heaven of the true immortal realm. Su Yin was about to step into the sixth heaven of the true immortal realm. Fan Jian estimated that if they were given a few more years, they would be infinitely close to the peak of the true immortal realm. The end of the Emperor Road and the emergence of a grand heavenly expert was not just a legend. There was a living example. If one really stood in this realm and entered the undying heavenly domain, he would be a primogenitor realm expert. His identity and status would be too extraordinary. The level he would come in contact with would be completely different. Boom! 3 days later, earth-shattering explosions occurred one after another. The entire golden oceanic region was violently overturned. It was a terrifying event. The golden oceanic region seemed to be about to explode. In the direction of the source, a huge wave soared, slapping the golden starry sky. The 9 suns were about to fall. What happened? Dali and the others were awakened. The commotion was too shocking. The golden oceanic region was shaking. How vast was this divine power? It erupted so suddenly and shook the world. The silver ship they were on was shaking. The huge ripples on the surface of the sea were about to destroy the warship. Could it be that the wondrous heaven-holy sun has really found the creation space? Fan Jian threw out a mirror to reflect the direction of the source. Although it was far away, they could still see that the sea region had exploded. The energy fluctuations were vast. The creation space has really opened. Yan Ke exclaimed, "Quick, full speed ahead. Quick!" Yi Yuan's emotions were in turmoil. The eye of the sea had ruptured, creating a huge crack that led to an unknown realm. Was the Baokai inside? The casualties in that region were also disastrous. The wondrous heaven's holy child had spent a lot of effort to locate the eye of the sea. He brought a large number of wondrous heaven's sex disciples, causing blood to flow through the sky. The great crack in the eye of the sea contained an extremely terrifying temperature. Even true immortals were burned to ashes. It was a tragic sight. "Open for me!" The wondrous heaven's holy child roared, his large hand fiercely striking forward. The imperial sky Dao diagram erupted with divine radiance, rushing towards the great crack. It was as if it turned into an enormous bridge, passing through the crack in the eye of the sea and leading to the underground world. This scene threw the entire sea region into chaos. Was the golden oceanic region's secret land going to be revealed? The wondrous heaven's holy child had already entered. Many people's eyes turned red, worried that the wondrous heaven's holy child would seize the opportunity first. The Xian people also hoped that they could see the Xian people's number 1 supreme being inside. He was unrivaled and shouldn't be so quiet. He should stand up and suppress all the kings, becoming the world's number 1 supreme being. He shouldn't be limited to the Xian people. Wang. The silver ship quickly approached. At this moment, Su Yan's pupils suddenly opened. His pupils were blazing like a reincarnation vortex, devouring people's souls. Su Yan's flesh shell glowed. It was terrifying. It was as if the reincarnation body had been reborn. Reincarnation runes appeared on his flesh and blood, powerful and terrifying. Reincarnation. Vaguely, Su Yan caught the aura of his source. His pair of deep eyes seemed to see through the boundless space and time, and saw the reincarnation herb rooted in the underworld. At this moment, the reincarnation herb of the underworld was getting closer and closer to maturity. The entire dark space trembled. The reincarnation herb glowed, sprinkling down a brilliant rain of reincarnation light. It was very beautiful, but space trembled and was about to explode. One had to know that this was the place where the Lord of the Underworld was in seclusion. Heaven and earth were firm and indestructible, but the ultimate treasure medicine was about to mature and bloom. The rain of reincarnation light that sprinkled down could destroy experts. The entire dark space trembled. This was a substance that made the ancestors of immortal sex go crazy. It was getting closer and closer to the day of its birth. The aura of the reincarnation herb. In a place extremely far away from the underworld, in the boundless void, where mortals couldn't reach, a pair of eyes opened, illuminating the boundless darkness. It was a tall figure with messy hair. He emitted a terrifying aura, shaking the void and space. His matchless majesty shone brightly in the darkness, as if he was standing here, looking down on the undying heavenly domain. He was on his way to harvest the reincarnation herb. Similarly, he was about to return.